Back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition of the Korean StarCraft League, the KSL week number 64, your bi-weekly dose of Korean StarCraft. I'm of course there's VIP with me. I'm joined by the players in the chat, by the people in the chat, by the players, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to something a little bit different here. Welcome to a catch-up stream, as the KSL did occur over the weekend. It did occur during Saturday, but of course, if you recall, we had a very intense Saturday casting Philadelphia, casting the Masters Coliseum qualifiers. Now the weekend is over. We finished the qualifiers, we wrapped them all up. We made it. we survived. We survived. But now it's time to catch up. Now it's time to catch up with the Korean StarCraft League. I did see in the chat, I believe the Hub Cup is ongoing at the moment. Did start a little bit earlier, and I was not in a state of being to cast the Hub Cup. No. Oh god. I was still, of course, trying to rest after covering all the Master Gold Team qualifiers. Now we're here for KSL. Honestly, I was looking forward to maybe getting some rest after. Oh, sorry, maybe taking the evening off after this, but no, it was announced that Warrior TV Monday is going to be later on tonight as well. So in around 12 hours time from this message, we're also going to be live on this channel with the Warrior TV Monday as well. So back-to-back broadcasts. I'll try to nap in between and get as much rest as possible, but that's all we can do. Just cast, sleep, eat, more cast, baby. Let's go. The non-stop StarCraft continues. But for now, we're going to be jumping into the Korean StarCraft League. And up first, we have a bit of a TVP here between GuMiho and Zeon. Let's go. The other thing that I'm really excited to see as well, something that we were taking note of throughout the course of the qualifiers over the weekend, is the absence of Dark. Dark, he was missing in action. He wasn't able to be there for the Korean qualifier or for the global qualifier either, but he did compete in the KSL. So we'll be diving into some Dark action later on. This is interesting because it does mean that, okay, maybe he was a little bit available over the weekend, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Is he going to the military at some point in the upcoming 2 months? Maybe, we'll see. For now though, we're jumping into our ZVT. Let's go, ZVP. Into Zeon versus GuMiho. Of course, GuMiho, he is hot off a win at Home Story Cup. He was able to become, or he is our reigning Home Story Cup champion back-to-back. Meanwhile, his Protoss opponent has been on the rise, has been taking down the best players in the world in these open events, in these open weekly tournaments. And we'll see how the series does unfold. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran. It is GuMiho. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing himself. It is Zeon. Let us go. Let's jump into our first series here of the evening. As heads up, we are going to be covering the quarterfinals and the semifinals thereafter. Again, I believe this was casted live by Chicken Man and Dave Testa over the weekend. If you happen to be watching at the time, we do hope you avoid spoilers in the chat, as they will be timed out or banned. We will be just diving into this with fresh eyes, with fresh faces, as we just woke up. Let's go. Let us go. For now, we have Zeon scouting for proxies. I don't blame him whatsoever, especially against a player like GuMiho. He's willing to proxy it up. So we'll check his third base, we'll check his fourth base location, back towards his mineral line as well at his natural before coming back home. So Zeon just being as safe as possible. Meanwhile, GuMiho back across the map is going to be opening up with a single gas geyser. It's going to be a Rax expand at a GuMiho. It's going to be a more economic opener. He's going to be skipping his first Reaper and Marine, going Reactor first as well. So cutting some corners. This can, of course, lead into double Reaper production later on to go across the map to wreak a little bit more havoc and to get some damage done. Otherwise, we'll see if he just goes from Marine production into a faster factory, into something more tech-heavy instead. See how he does spend his gas. As we settle into our TVP. And again, we are in the quarterfinals. The plan here tonight is to cover the quarterfinals, have a bit of a break, and then dive into the semis and grand finals thereafter, is the plan. But now there's that factory on the way, and yes, we are preserving our gases. So it's going to be Reactor into double Marine into factory follow-up here. So GuMiho basically playing in the dark. He has no idea what's going on, and he doesn't really care. Not really too concerned here with what Zeon is up to. Not really concerned with what is happening and occurring across the map. now just going to be building up. Massing up his Marines. Taking his natural. Soon to saturate. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice. Going to be a Twilight Count opener out of Zown. Most likely going to be Blink here. I say most likely. Like, every time I'm like, oh, you know, like, there's a niche build where you can go into DTs. And then they go DTs. Like, we've been seeing a lot of DT openers over the past, what, like, 4 or 5 days? Like, it's been crazy, like, how often we've been seeing them. But from Zown, it should be Blink. Should be Blink into 2 gates, maybe 3 gates into an expand. Gateways are being thrown down. Meanwhile, across the map, GuMiho, now we see where this 1-1-1 is leading towards. We do have our Widow Mine production well underway, moving towards that mine drop. Okay, another is committed mine drop. It's only going to be, what, 2, maybe 3 Widow Mines here. We'll see when GuMiho does cut Widow Mine production. Back at home, Blink is being researched, so no DTs, no Dark Shrine. It is going to be Blink here from Zown. We're sane. We're normal. Let's go. Hallucination coming in, might even trigger the Widow Mine, as I believe it is in the mineral line. Let's head on over. Oh. Does head over, gonna be zoned away by the Marines. So far, so good. Does confirm the build, does confirm the more economic start of GuMiho as well. And should be getting ready here for the eventual drop play. Oh, as it does confirm the Widow Mines and the drop. So double Widow Mine drop here out of GuMiho has been scouted. Zown should be getting in position, but it isn't just the mine drop. GuMiho going to be moving out with his Marines as well. Okay. Marines also do fan out across the map. Zown attempted to get in position. Ooh, he will catch the medevac. Oh. We'll catch it. Late reaction. And GuMiho, he will lose the full medevac as well. Massive pickup. Medevac does fall. Widow Mines are denied. Marines are coming in to reinforce, but again, with this kind of setup, he has to back off. We'll race back home. GuMiho does scout the 3rd base at least. Does confirm the Nexus. See Zown trying to get in position. Ooh, and Zown holds. Zown does defend the Unisol stab. It was 1 Widow Mine and 1 medevac. Again, it was a triple Widow Mine drop. Was denied. At least now GuMiho is more aware of the build of choice that he's up against. Otherwise, I mean, there'd already be Phoenixes, there'd already be Oracles, so he knows his Twilight Council, but he doesn't know how committed it's going to be. Well, actually, he knows that as well. He saw the 3rd base. Yeah, he saw the 3rd. He knows it's either 2 gate or 3 gate. Blink is safe and sound, and will set up back at home. Hallucination likewise confirms the 3-1-1 setup. Zown gonna be taking into a bay here. We spoke about this before, but a bay is a little bit more, it's a little bit more old school, less modern. We've been seeing a lot of storm play, over the past, what, month or so, even past 2 months during the PTR with the new NG overcharge. GuMiho is poking forward. Oh. Stalker's able to pick away at the army. Getting a Marine so far. Oh, trying to get the others. Tank shot does not go off. Clean moves there from Zown. Does blink away. Very nice control at the same time. 3 probes did 4 in the mineral line to the Widow Mine. As Zown was distracted. And GuMiho backs off. Again, I appreciate that basically the goal of this move out was to distract, was to allow the Widow Mine to actually slip in and get some damage done. You can see the Zown's trying to get eyes on the kind of drop play. GuMiho just backs off. Backs off, retreats, getting a 3rd CC back at home. 2 more racks is building up towards the mid game. Is building up. Likewise, so is Zown. Observer will confirm. Oh! GuMiho, he spotted the Observer. Zown, he retreats. Back at home has his Colossus well underway. Again, I was kind of alluding to it earlier, but because of these changes to the NG, or because of the introduction of the NG overcharge, storm-based follow-ups have been much more common. We see, at least for now, Zown is going to be avoiding that. Shuts down the auto turrets. From here, is going to rotate over. But, oh, we do have some disrupted mining. There we go. Did have some disrupted mining here in the main, in the 3rd. Does go back to mining. Here we can settle down. Colossi are building up. GuMiho is taking his 3rd. And honestly, it's a pretty early 3rd timing here for GuMiho. I mean, he threw it down a little bit earlier on. So he's maintaining his economy, keeping up with Zown. Down gets eyes on the timing. He moves out. Likewise, so does GuMiho. Army gets spotted. Colossi revealed. That should trigger GuMiho going into Viking production. As for now, he's getting to a Ghost Academy Armory for +2. Medivacs are out. No Vikings yet. Interesting, Xian going to be cutting Colossi at 2 instead of 3, so cutting Colossus a little bit early on and going into faster disruptors. It's a bit of a risky way to play nowadays, especially considering that disruptors no longer watch on Marauders, so there's so much more dive potential now for the Terran. I'm saying it can't work, but it is going to be more difficult here. Xian is going to be on point with those Novas. Will move out. Does move out, encounters the army. Nova goes up. Up! Massive connection! Not quite nice bit here from GuMiho. Wouldn't mind to survive. So they're pushing forward. Tanks do siege. Tanks barely out of range of the Nexus. Within range of the cannon. Now up to 3 disruptors. It's going to be going off. They take down the Widow Mines. Widow Mines go down. GuMiho will pull back, doesn't like what he sees, and retreats. I mean, did some decent damage, he did trade well, didn't overcommit. GuMiho playing it out very carefully. Xian trying to chase him down. Oh. Does force out a stim. Forcing out a stim, going back into more disruptors. Likewise, the Viking count for GuMiho is getting quite high. He's getting there. He's got 4, soon to be 6 Vikings. And all of this will come down to the main engagements. It comes down to whether or not the Novas connect. Because that's a lot of Purification Novas. Gonna have 5, soon to be 6. Dark Shrines on the way. Xian being active. GuMiho working on a 4th Nexus, or 4th CC. Even rushing to an earlier fusion core here. Okay, some players usually delay or they get into Liberator production a little bit later on, but with all these starports on with the fusion core, it looks like we want to try to get into it a little bit earlier here. I mean, Liberators can be amazing in this matchup. They can take control of the ground, they can force the transition into Skytoss, but he needs a little bit more time to really get into them. And now still making Vikings. Observer does spot the army moving, rotating. Xian is aware. So gonna rotate over. GuMiho does miss the army until now. There he goes up. GuMiho responds. Decent splits. We'll take it over to the face. Up, and another assault gets a ghost. Ghost goes down. 4 Novas left. Once again connecting. Oof. Yeah, brutal connections on those Marauders. And GuMiho just cannot push in. Some tank shots. Oof. Yeah, once again, I mean, Xian hasn't gotten any major connections, but every time he does push in, every time he does connect, he takes down some Marines, a Ghost, some Marauder here and there, has been getting value. Xian is maxed. It's still making more disruptors. Getting up to 7 disruptors. Let's go. The disruptors, they keep coming. Speaking of, it's going up. Spending a lot of Novas, actually. That was 4 Novas. He's got 1 left. And Xian has to retreat here. A little bit trigger happy with his Purification Novas. And so important that you preserve them, that you at least have 1 to punish and kind of commit a dive. So he gets away. Xian rotating in. Diving in the army. There he goes up and ooh, much better connection. Takes down a massive chunk of Marauders. More Marauders going down. Oh my god, the Ghost as well. And GuMiho, he's really struggling pushing in. He will take down the Colossus at least. Colossus do fall. Disruptors are not available anymore. They have to get the hell out of here. And the Gateway Army is just not large enough. Stalkers go down, and GuMiho, he holds. Not without losing 16 SCVs, though. Zelta are wreaking havoc. 16 workers go down. Good economic damage done here by Zaun. And he does preserve the Disruptors. That's what's important. Disruptors, they got out. They did get out in time. Zaun can maintain his army. We'll solve his Colossus. Now going into Immortal production. Just trying to keep up. There it is. We see GuMiho making 4 Liberators at a time with Lib range. The freedom is coming. Hello, what's this game called? Oh no. It's TranKy. Good morning, babies. Good morning. Down to enter with the army. We have a mass amount of DTs coming in from behind. Let's go. Now moving in. Catches out some Marauders. At the same time, ready for that DT counterattack. Oh! Notice they do connect. Nice spread here from GuMiho. Liberators yet to siege. And as GuMiho is distracted, bam! DTs to hit the Planetary. Planetary does go down. Massive pickup. GuMiho otherwise distracted. Trying to dive in. Nova's once again. Ooh. Take down the Marauders. And something that we've seen quite often here is that despite the fact that Nova's no longer one-shot Marauders, I mean, once they stim, I mean, they do go down. As Liberators are left exposed, GuMiho out of position, DT's coming in from behind, and GuMiho gets completely surrounded. Oh, the SCVs! SCVs go down, the splits are not there, not good enough. Marauders, they do rotate, but Zauni's holding his own. Yeah, Liberators never really came into play. They were just too little too late. Nice slam on these Disruptors, but yeah, the Stalker army should be able to break through. Oh, with the Novas. Once again, they connect. Zaun getting forced back, but he kills 34 SCVs. 34 SCVs. Planetary as well. GuMiho trying to double expand. GG gets called, and Zaun takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Very careful play there out of Zaun for the majority of that game, just maintaining control of his... Oh my god, where am I? Just maintaining his Disruptors over the course of the entire game. He only lost some of them towards the end of the game, towards that final fight. Likewise, that DT counterattack, DT run-by, even the Zealot run-by as well, did work quite well for him. Sniping mineral lines, sniping bases. GG was able to pull GuMiho apart. And with that, Zaun takes a lead. Zaun does take a lead, and now we're getting into game number 2. Game 2 is going to be on Amygdala. Let's go. But yes, we're here in the quarterfinals. We will be covering the quarterfinal matches before diving into the semifinals as well. If you are looking for some Zerg gameplay and even some Protoss gameplay, throughout the bracket, we have herO, we have Dark as well. Honestly, I do miss casting Dark, because Dark, he was not a part of the qualifiers for Master Coliseum, but we'll be able to feature him later tonight. Or later today, even. Here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the red Protoss player leading the series 1-0. It is Zaun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, down in the series, our reigning Home Story Cup champion. It is GuMiho. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back, see if he can recover. But now, once again, Zaun is quick to scout and make sure that there is no proxy gates or proxy racks. Checks the third. Checks the fourth before coming back home. Did the same thing in that first game. So Zaun just playing very safe, making sure there's no shenanigans going on. I don't blame him. Meanwhile, back at home, GuMiho going for an economic opener. Once again, this is a repeat of game 1. going for a Rax into expansion. Now, when it comes to game one, again, Zan, it wasn't just his army control, which was impeccable, right? With his ability to land those Novas, be very careful with his disruptors, but more importantly, in the early to mid game, was able to deny the move outs. GuMiho, he was trying to be aggressive. His Widowmine drop got shut down early on. It didn't really deal much damage. He got 3 probes towards the end, but it was a big commitment. And if you remember, GuMiho attempted to move out with his bio-tank army, but likewise, Zan did engage in the center of the map as well and did deflect GuMiho. So GuMiho, he was struggling, or he intended to be aggressive, but was struggling to do so. Didn't really work out well in the end, and we saw that Zan was looking quite comfortable back at home. His economy was never really touched, right? There was never any successful drop play or harassment from GuMiho. Zan was able to comfortably get into his 3 and 4 base setup and focus on being the one to harass GuMiho instead. So Zan, he was able to wrangle map control away from GuMiho, and we'll see if he can do so again. We'll see if he can pull that off. For now, settling in. We have Zan setting up in the low ground. Safety shield battery on the way. Likewise, once again, GuMiho going for a reactor after Rax into reactor marine production into, I would imagine, Widowmine play. But what I'm getting at is that 2 games in a row, no SCV scouts, no Reaper scouts. GuMiho is in the dark. And there's that Widowmine in production. Checking for a proxy gate. And again, Widowmines, especially early on, they're a little bit dual purpose. In case there is an Oracle opener or a Stargate Phoenix opener, then the Widowmines will be set up in the mineral line, at least early on, before moving out with their drop. GuMiho is setting up. Back at home, Twilight Council opener out of Zan. Twilight Council to Blink. Now, last game we saw 2 gate Blink into a 3rd. See how many gateways he goes for this time. Mine is set up. Station diving in. And gets a full scout, so Widowmine shot is not wasted, but once again, Zan confirms the Widowmine opener. Does confirm. Is aware. Again, this is the power of the new NG overcharge. Nowadays, it is so much more common and so much more easier to move out with the hallucination. You know, you can open up Sentry, get the NG overcharge, hallucinate across the map, and get a full scout of whatever the Terran is up to. And it can be quite difficult to deny that scout. As GuMiho moves out with his drop, Zan once again with the intercept. Oh, but he doesn't quite find it this time. Doesn't quite come across it. Drop coming into the natural. Zan is going to be able to deflect. At least he's trying to. Drop comes in. First Widowmine does borrow. Nice on borrow. Oh, Widowmine goes down. 2 more into the main. And Zan does react in time. He pulls away, avoids that second Widowmine. We have a 3rd Widowmine coming in back towards the natural. 1 probe does fall. And Zan, he... late reaction! No! Oh no! Oh my god. Zan, calm down. Okay, does pull away in time, does escape. We'll be losing a lot of mining time. At the same time, the main army is going to be clashing. Marines, oh my god, was that a kill? Okay, it was a cancel. It was a cancel on the expansion. GuMiho pulling Zan apart. Probe's going to be falling. Widowmine gets cleaned up, but very nice value here. Very nice trades from GuMiho. Once those Marines. Sorry, once those Stalkers. Won't quite get them, but does soften them up real bad. Jesus. They get quite low. Looking at units lost tab at 2 Stalkers and 2 Probes. Cancel 3rd base. And this time the aggression of GuMiho was more successful. At least compared to game 1. Was more successful. Stalkers moving out. They will barely miss the Raven. Likewise, GuMiho, he does snipe the Observer. Interesting. Observer goes down. Drop towards the south. Zan, does he notice? He does. Warps into the main. Getting in position. And will deflect the tag drop. Likewise, auto start towards the natural, but Zan was in position as well. He defends. He holds. So far, so good. Deflects the drop play. Likewise, GuMiho getting to his third on location. Hallucination doesn't quite confirm yet, as it is cleaned up. And Zan is still looking and hunting for the... Oh my god, the full medevac goes down. The tanks. Oh my god. And GuMiho's hurting. He's hurting quite a bit. That was brutal. One of the tanks does fall. Zone as that hallucination away. Third CC is about to finish up, but Zan has momentum. He has momentum, he has map control, and where exactly is he going with this? So far, just focusing on a purely gateway composition. Has a robot, but no disruptors, no bay, I should say, no storm, purely zealots and stalkers. Just purely a gateway army. GuMiho. Oh, snipes Raven. Raven goes down. Once again, a nice pickup. GuMiho bleeding out a lot of units here. Lost a tank, lost a Raven. GuMiho, he has to move out. Gets ahead of time, spots the army. Again, charge is done. At the same time, GuMiho coming in with his first Raven. Will harass. Doing what he can. But he has no pushing power. He has to get the hell out of here. Forced to trade. Bleeding out Marines. Okay, nice position with the tanks. Zealots, they do move in. They try to come in first round as well, but GuMiho is going to shut this down. Zan, he should not have pushed in. He should not have engaged the Zealots, the Stalkers. Zan is going to lose everything. And remember, he has no Colossus or Disruptors. Yeah, every single unit goes down. GG gets called. That was not the fight to go for. And GuMiho ties up the series 1-1. GG. Ay. GG, well played. Zan was playing so well, denying drop play, sniping key units, the Ravens, the tanks. Was, again, it was all leading towards success there for Zan, but one real bad fight. He committed up a ramp, lost all his zealots before he could really engage with the tanks, and he lost all his stalkers as well. And remember, because he was going purely for a gateway army, losing all those stalkers was brutal. They're not as expendable, they're not replaceable. He had no other like power units behind it. That was it. That was all he had. GG. GG, well played. And with that, that leads us into the ace match, into game 3. Let's go. Let us go. We're getting into King's Cove. Hello, Kaylor. Hello. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Buenos días, as we're getting into the ace match and spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, who honestly looking quite strong in this series. Even in that last game was doing well up until a certain point, up until an ill-advised assault on GuMiho's army, which went south so fast. But we'll see if he can bounce back. It is Zan. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran. Fighting back, tying up the series 1-1, the reigning Home Story Cup champion. It is GuMiho. Here we go. And again, despite how bleak and despite how rough things were looking in that last game, GuMiho, he was able to wrangle it all back. Again, just really solid macro behind it, and again was able to seize an opportunity when given to him. And we'll see if GuMiho can tighten things up here, because the early game has been a little bit lackluster for GuMiho in these past 2 games. See if he can bring it back. Meanwhile, Zan once again scouting, does check the linear 3rd location, checks the 4th or the center location as well, just making sure there's no proxy. Again, against GuMiho, don't blame him. Don't blame him at all. Makes sense. So Zan will expand. Just going for his gate, cyber expand. Standard opener here from Zan. Likewise, GuMiho, once again, every game in this series going for an economic Rax expand into Reactor. Once again, no SCV Scout, no Reaper Scout, no nothing.
Command center upgrade complete.
And we've seen every game so far, this leads into a triple Widowmine drop. But going for the same opener every single game, like I'm not too fond of it. We've seen that it just hasn't really been too successful. I guess last game it was a little bit more so than previously by canceling the third base. He canceled the third, he killed 2 Stalkers, and it was okay. It was okay. But for the most part, Zan has been able to keep up. Has been able to keep up. CC soon to finish. Factory as well. Into, I would imagine, Widowmine production once again. We'll keep an eye on GuMiho. Speaking of once again, we do have a Twilight Council here from Zan. So every game so far, Blink-based opener with 2 gateways. We'll see if he throws down additional gateways this time. If he wants to be more assertive and more aggressive. I should also mention, oh my god, okay, we're good. For a moment I thought it was the second starport. We're going for the add-on swap this time though, which means this could be more committed. Typically we've been seeing a triple Widowmine drop. This time could be quadruple instead. Could be seeing 4, 2 and 2. So GuMiho is mixing it up. But what I was going to say here is that, okay, of course, welcome to King's Cove, a much larger map of the map pool, a very defendable natural and third base. The fourth is more exposed and is definitely a base it's difficult to really hold on to, especially coming into mid to late game. We'll see if we can get that far. As Widowmines have arrived. Nation coming in. Gets eyes on the 1-1-1. Spots of Widowmines. And should be getting ready back at home. And again, because of the reactor, this time it's going to be more committed. This time it's not 3, it is 4 Widowmines instead. So much more committed. For Widowmines alongside the Marines. Now this time there's less Marines than previously because previously we had reactor Marine production. So that is the downside. GuMiho sending it across the map. We'll boost in. Meanwhile, Zan getting in position, at least at his natural. Once again, 2 Gateling Stalkers. GuMiho sneaks up on the third. Hoping to force a cancel. Mindro comes in. 2 Widowmines at the natural. Up. Getting 1 probe. 2 Widowmines into the main as well. Medevac is being targeted down. Oh, we'll get the Medevac. The probes have pulled away just in time. Marines, they raced back home. They saw there was no third. And, oh no! Oh my god, last second split, last second movement. Jesus. Zani defends. A very chaotic game state here in the main base and almost did lose extra probes, but in the end, does hold, does survive. 4 probe kills in total for 4 Widowmines. Acceptable losses here for Zan. Now we can expand, take a third. GuMiho races back. And now we can settle into the mid game. We can calm things down. Zan taking his third base, taking up towards the bay into Colossus production once again. Haven't seen Storm yet in this series. It's been very robo based. At least in game 1. Zan, he will have high ground vision. Marines are lying in wait. Tank as well. Zan, he's going to commit in. We'll take down the depot at least. Well, let's get the hell out of here. Pulls away. So far, so good. Gets the depot, dives out. GuMiho defends. Back at home, the bay is now done. And the first Colossus is in production. It's enemy Colossi, not Disruptors, not yet. If you recall in game 1, Zan, he only committed into 2 Colossi before going into Mass Disruptor. Was quite successful with it. But if you recall, a lot of that success came down to his map control. It came down to his ability to just keep up and shut down drop play and then you kind of move out and get away with his economy. GuMiho going into his third CC. So a bit of a faster third. Will break out. So good. Breaking out, GuMiho, he has taken map control. He gets spotted by the observer. Sound getting ready. Soon have 2 Colossus. Gateway explosions finishing up. It's going to be an 8-gate setup. That's a lot of gateways. And we'll see what GuMiho can get done. Scans ahead of time, spots the third. Double drop towards the natural. Zan, he does split up. So far, so good. Colossus at the third base, Stalkers at the natural. He's ready. And GuMiho has yet to pull the trigger. Ideally, to commit with this double drop, you want a distraction, right? You want something to pull the attention away for Zan towards the north, towards these bases. GuMiho is still gearing up. Now he moves out. Observer does spot the main army. And Zan, he doesn't flinch. Here we go, here comes the drop. 1 minute rank goes down, massive pickoff. He gets 1. Should get the other at the same time. Main army pushes in. Colossus, they're holding their own. 3 triple Colossus here from Zan. Mine shots go off. Oh, he's going for the dive. He wants a Colossus. He won't get it. Zan is keeping up. Colossus, they stand strong. Drop goes down. Now we can focus on the main army, and GuMiho, he has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull away. Oh my god. Again, an intense fight. Zan barely lost anything there. Lost Zealots and a handful of Stalkers. But he survives. Behind this, disruptive production has begun. Second robo is on the way. Zan has gained map control. He's moving out. GuMiho has to race back home. Racing back. Setting up his Colossus. Oh my god, the move commit! The move commit! The army gets caught out. Tank goes down, the other is on siege, and GuMiho GG gets caught. He was caught completely with his pants down. The unsieged tanks, the new command out, and GG. Zan will take the series at 2-1. GG, well played. A very, very rough end there for GuMiho. But even the lead up to it, remember, GuMiho is so committed with his assaults at the 4th base, with the drop into the natural, and again, Zan was all over it. Zan on fire here in the KSL, takes down GuMiho 2-1, and does advance on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. GuMiho having a bit of a rough morning here in the KSL. You know, I'm still maybe recovering from Home Story Cup. You know, I'm sure the after party was wild. And you know, look, we even saw Wardy take the weekend off, so understandable here for GuMiho. But yeah, he does fall early on. Again, in general, some of these games were a little bit rough for him, especially in the early to mid game, and did find himself in a really rough position. Was unable to overcome, and Zan on points. Again, Zan has been looking very strong over the past couple of months. Since his return from the military service, he's been looking quite strong. We've been seeing Zan take down players like Clem, like Max, and we'll see how Zan performs in the semifinals. For now, though, we're going to be hopping over to another quarterfinals match. Up next, we do have our next matchup. It's going to be a PvP between Classic and Estrella. Let's go. Estrella, of course, he did qualify for Home Story Cup off of the back of his, I want to say, PvP. So Estrella has been looking quite strong over the weekend. Again, he's going to be one of the few at Masters Coliseum. He'll be repping the NA region and repping the American scene. But Classic is still one of the best Pro Tours players in South Korea, so this is going to be a spicy PvP. On top of that, it is a PvP. You know, the Gamba. It's real. Oh, God. Let's go. as game 1 is going to be on Ultra Love. And I'll be honest, I haven't been casting enough PvP this patch. I'll be honest, intentionally so. Like, I usually avoid mirror matches when casting tournaments. I usually try to find some other, you know, more dynamic matchups. So I've been casting less than I usually do, and I feel like I crave it a little bit, not gonna lie. Craving it, Pappy, but here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. It is Estrella. Here we go. Now I wonder, did Estrella sleep? For those that are curious, this event, KSL, took place right after the Masters Coliseum Europe and Americas qualifier, which is where Estrella did qualify for the main event. So I hope he was able to get some sleep before the KSL. As we're setting up on Ultra Love. Now, Ultra Love is a very unique map in a sense that there is a ramp coming into the natural. Because of that, we have gate expanse. We have a gateway on the low ground. We can go straight into a faster Nexus. We'll see if Classic can get it down, as he's going to be denied. Yeah, throws down the gas in the main and the pylon. Yeah, both players will attempt to delay each other. So we have our gate into Cybercore. This should lead into a Stargate, followed by the expansion. Now, if we do go for a Stargate before Nexus, and if both players mirror each other, then Phoenix Wars. That's typically how things go here, as it's going to be the role of the opposing player to delay the expansion for as long as possible. That's why we usually see pylon blocks here at the natural. Zelts are on the way. Faster for Classic. Astray, he does have the money. He wants to expand. Forced to make a Stalker. There's a pylon block. Has to throw down tech. Didn't want to. There's a Stargate opener for a Classic. And Estrella. Again, he did go for that earlier Stalker here instead of the Zealot. So Estrella, he is going to be delayed. Yeah, big delay here for Estrella. Ay, ay, ay. Basically, Estrella, he skipped the Zealot. He skipped the Zealot, which means a later cancellation of this pylon. Pylon even finishes. This is also more gas intensive. That means no Stargate. So Classic's build is looking much more comfortable, much more fluid. Neither player has expanded, but Classic, he's handling this, and he's going to be able to get into his first Oracle. Stargate is done. Expansion's been taken. The first Oracle's on the way. So much cleaner build here from Classic across the map. Astray just now getting his natural. It's been a little bit more chaotic. Throwing down a second gateway. He does have his Stalker back home to defend. He's going to have 2 Stalkers and 1 Sentry to defend against the Oracle. And we'll see if he can maintain himself. See if Astray can hold on. Oracle moves out across the map. So far the main base is secure. 2 Stalkers and 1 Sentry, but it's not about the first Oracle, it's going to be about the second Oracle. Second Oracle is also in production. Both players throwing down their Twilight Councils. Stray dips in behind the mineral line. Oh! Is deflected, gets 1 probe. Will sustain a bit of hull damage. 1 probe goes down. Meanwhile, Estrella going for a proxy pylon. So he can reinforce across the map. Second Oracle has arrived. 2 Oracles, they can one-shot probes. They are spotted by the hallucination. Oh! Classic doesn't find a way in yet. Both players starting blink. Classic getting up to 3 gateways. 3 gates set up back at home. Still just keeping Astray busy. Non-stop hallucinations. And I was curious here, Astray, he does not go for the proxy Dark Shrine, goes to the Dark Shrine back at home. Bold move. And can Astray deny that scouting? So far so good. Zones away the Oracles. Now, DTs can be really cheeky and really risky in this matchup. They can pop off. The problem here, as you can see, I mean, there is no Robo for Classic, but it does have the Oracles. It does have 2 Oracles. Now, if Astray can snipe the Oracles, I mean, then different story. But Oracles, they can of course Revelate. There is detection available here for Classic. So DTs should not just end the game. Shouldn't. Here we go. Oh, it's the Overwatch man himself. War Buffle. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Where is Yaku? Is he okay? What do you mean? He's in the chat right now. Hello, Yaku. Ay, ay, ay. True. Este War Buffle. Good to see you. Good to see you. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Hope you're doing well. As DTs are warping in. Speaking of Phoenix, thank you so much for subscribing for 61 months, Este Phoenix. Oh my god. It's been a while, Pap. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Del Dutch God himself. Aha. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're keeping safe. Classic does move out at the same time. DTs, they're going to be waddling in. Head towards the natural. Third base is going to be 9. Oh, there's going to be the cancel. But here comes the Dark Templar. They waddle into the mineral line. We have one here towards the natural, one to the third. And so far we do have 7 probe kills. 7 up to 8. 8 workers going down. There's Revelation. Despite that, probes are still getting one-shots. And Estrella doing quite well for himself. Does take a worker lead. Another DT at the natural. They will be finally cleaned up. They finally go down. 15 probe kills in total. Ay, ay, ay. And Estrella takes the third. Now, the downside of what just happened, sure, that's good damage. Don't get me wrong. It's good damage. Estrella, he now takes a 5 probe lead here over his opponent. But Classic can make 3 probes at a time. He has an extra base. He has a third base operational. There's the chrono boost here to chrono out those workers. So Classic can recover. Can recover here. Trading with the army. Forcing back the Stalkers. Another DT waddles in. This time Classic is on point. We'll chase it down. Oh my god, everyone's in the chat. Oh god. War Buffle, Phoenix, and Kerwin? Este Kerwin. Ay, ay, ay. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yo, Out of Depth, episode 2? I'm sorry, episode 3? Let's go. As Astray, he does pull Classic apart. He's in the main. Classic out of position. Third base under fire. Pylon goes down. Depounds the shield battery. And at the same time, the DC still wreaking havoc. GG gets called. Classic, he just cannot keep up. And Estrella takes game number 1. GG. Very impressive stuff here. Again, Estrella, he initially, I didn't think the DCs would do too much damage, but the DC harass continued for Estrella. Classic, he was trying to be active. He was in Estrella's face, had to race back home into the main base, into the natural. He was out of position, and Estrella, he went for the kill then and there the entire time. More DTs killing workers, more DTs wreaking havoc. The power of the Invisible Man is pretty good. It's pretty good, Pappy. GG, well played. Estrella does take a lead in the series. Now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. $61 months is like 60 bottles of Elephant Bay iced tea worth of subs. Kerwin, why do you know the exact price of Elephant Bay iced tea? What's the story here? Is that what we've been drinking recently? What even is it? I didn't even know. Oh my god. I'm looking it up. It looks good. Is this the new carbonara? Let's go. As we're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Twisted Mind, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can survive the Invisible Man. It is a classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the American Protoss player, the blue Protoss, leading the series 1-0. Can he bring it home? It is Australia. It's Max Angel. I'm Elephant Bay Ice-T's biggest fan. Okay. I don't think that's a thing here in Australia. Maybe it is. Elephant Bay Ice-T Australia. What's so elephant about it? Ah. Everyone's here today. How much baby oil is it? I feel like you should be able to answer that, War Buffalo. I feel like you're like trying to bait us. You know. It shouldn't even be a question. Oh my god. As for now, we do have Classic setting up a proxy in the center of the map. After falling to the DTs in the first game, it looks like we have a more aggressive follow-up here. Show us the Robo. Show us the one base all in. Huh. As Cybercore is now finishing up, Classic will be throwing down his tech of choice. Cybercore is done, double adepts are on the way, and there it is, there's the Robo. It's going to be a one base all in here from Classic. Australia back at home going for a 2-gate opener, 2 gates into double Stalker. Probe moves out, and Australia so far, he does not quite come across the proxy, moving out across the map instead. He will soon find out that the pylon is missing though, because we have our third pylon further in the main. This is a later scout for Australia, true. Yeah, it is a much later scout. Going for a Stargate opener himself. Probe is going to be hunted down, which means he doesn't get into the main, which means Australia, he sees nothing. He sees nothing, he knows nothing. Moving out with his Stalkers, we'll check the more common Stargate location. Proxy Stargate, I mean. Confirms nothing here. And throughout all of this, the Robo now finishes, and the Immortal production has begun. Australia, he's looking. And it looks like, oh, he's so close. You see it all around it. He does not quite come in. Yeah, does not scout the Robo, is barely hidden here. Hunting down the Adepts, opening up with an Oracle. Stalkers, they move out across the map. They confirm there is no expansion, there is no pylon. Things looking very suspect. Australia taking his own base. And if he was where something was wrong, we'd be seeing a Phoenix instead, but he's going to be opening up Oracle. And now he knows. Now he knows what's going on. Stalker gets hunted down. Oracle will pick off one Adept. Triggering the shields. Going for the Sentry, but there's a Prism. There's a War Prism, everything else gets saved. Classic moves out. The Oracle doesn't get much done. Only got the one Adept. Nice zoning here from Australia, though. Zones away the Prism. Immortal gets 2. Takes down 2 Stalkers, takes down a 3rd Stalker. Oh, the same! Oh my god, Prism goes down, but the Immortal survives. The Immortal does live. Stray, he's in trouble. He's lost 4 Stalkers so far. Denies a 3rd. Classic moving in. Proxy stays powered. Oh, let's go. The whole position. Does avoid the Stalkers. Stray, he's holding on. Getting to his first Void Ray. Dies for the Immortal. Immortal goes down. Nice pickup. He gets 1. He gets 1, but he will lose all the Stalkers here. Nice trade from the Stray. He does shut him down. Cleans up all the Stalkers. Gets across the map. Going for the Stasis. Classic. No reaction. Doesn't react in time. Massive Stasis goes off. Does get most of the Mineral Line. Meanwhile, the Void Ray does get picked up. Does fall. Nice Force Fields. Classic pushing in. He's committed. I mean, he was already all in. But now no economy. It's all or nothing for Classic. forcing his way up the ramp. Takes down the pylon. Slides the pylon, depowers the gateways. There's only one gate behind this. Backup Void Rays on the way. Astray going for another stasis. Let's go. No minerals. So far, the juggling is solid. Nice control here from Classic. Busting up the ramp. Takes out one Stalker. Takes out two. There's two left. Two Stalkers remaining. They're going to be focused on as well. Second Immortal does arrive. Who needs an economy? Bappy. Half a base all in. Let's go. The Immortal count's looking quite high. There is a Void Ray, though. There's a Void Ray on the high ground. Astray, he's holding on. Show us not the stasis. Astray holding on to the ramp. Another stasis into the main base. This time, Classic responds. Will pull away. Fool me twice. Never fool me again. Never again, man. Astray Classic will force his way up the ramp, going for the Void Ray. The shield battery doing what they can. Void Ray does survive, but what about everything else? herO does crumble. And Astray is being overwhelmed. Down to a single Void Ray. The Voids are being pulled. Two more Stalkers come in. But there's just too much firepower. The juggling is on point as well. GG gets called. Classic, he breaks through, and Classic ties up the series 1-1. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played again. Classic preserving those immortals for so long in that game. Likewise, depowering the gateways, shutting down the gateways themselves. We saw that Astray, he just barely really didn't have an army to work with. Had a Void Ray here or there, but every time they were focused down, he was never able to build up a massive critical amount of Void Rays. Likewise, it was also really rough to see that Astray, he wasn't able to quite realize what was happening until it was in his face. So a bit of a later response, later reaction to the all-in. And with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Let's go. I don't think Elephant Ice Tea is big anywhere. Oh no. It's not even big in Germany, but boy does it deserve to be. Does it? I don't think I could even get it here in Australia. But you know what? You know what, Kerwin? Off of your recommendation, if I ever see it on the shelf, I'll get some Elephant Ice Tea. I'll drink like an elephant. It'll be amazing. As we're getting into the ace match and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of a Neon Violet square, we have our South Korean Protoss player for Twisted Minds. It is Classic. Tying up the series, of course, in the ace match and spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the American Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, being forced into the ace match. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is Astray. Go. As we suddenly find ourselves on the largest map in the map pool. Welcome back, one and all, to Neon Violet Square. Now, despite this being a large map, I'm curious if either player does go for any kind of macro play. We've seen a lot of aggression from both sides. Of course, the one base all in last game from Classic. Meanwhile, game 1, we had Astray being the aggressor himself, going for a DT based opener into a 2 base all in. Meanwhile, despite the ramp coming into the natural, because of the more intense wall that's going on here, it looks like Classic, he will go for the 2-gate opener on the high ground. Likewise, so does Astray. This makes sense. This does make sense, as opposed to on other maps where you would usually have the high ground advantage. That is not the case here on Neon Violet Square, because you can always proxy here on the right-hand side. You can always proxy elsewhere, and then you're on the same point of elevation as your defensive structures. Classic going for a fake proxy pylon. Does set up. Pylon gets placed. Did I say fake? Hello, Classic. Bienvenidos. Cybercore is done. Do we go for the Stargate? We do. It's going to be a proxy Stargate opener. This is not an all-in, but this is an aggressive start. The goal here is to proxy an Oracle, get across the map, get into the mineral line, and wreak havoc. This is to get economic damage done. And behind this, Classic should expand. Meanwhile, Astray just going 2-gate into an expand himself. Will take a faster natural. Does open sentry. That means hallucination scout. That means we might come across the proxy itself. Or at least should confirm that the pylon is missing. But it is a very large map. Not easy to find the proxy. Classic does check himself, looking for a proxy Stargate. We'll confirm there is none, at least not yet. orco dips in. Sees the pylon, sees there is no expansion, which means the money has to be spent somewhere. Something is wrong. Astray has a shield battery at the natural. Her shield battery in the main is concerning. Spots the expansion. Again, he knows it's late. Hello, they shade in. They shade into the main base. Probes are going to be going down. He gets one, he gets two. He gets three. Does he get four? Oh. Barely not. 3 probe kills. Stargate. Shield battery in the main base for the proxy Stargate. Not quite ready. Oracle dives in. And Classy gets 2 more probes. That is 5 in total. 5 workers go down. Oh, shield battery gets cancelled. Bold move here by Estrella. Very bold move. I mean, we're getting up to 2 oracles anyway. Damage was already done. As the oracle finds a way in. Gets a probe. Second oracle dives into the main base. Astray, he's out of position. Oh no. Probes are going down. Astray being pulled apart. He's all in. He's committed. He has to go across the map because this is far too much damage. We're getting up to 15, 16 probes go down, and here we go. It's all or nothing for Australia, pushing up the ramp. On the high ground, what do we have? We have 2 stalkers, 2 adepts, and we have shield batteries on the way. Australia forcing his way in. Gets a stalker, gets one. Takes down one, takes down the other. Shield batteries not done in time. Not bad. Oh, but now they finish. Now they do finish up. And now Classic can hold. Takes down the stalker. Can take down the others. Second shield battery is now done as well. Stray needs more damage. Oh god. As Stray will lose most of his army. Sentries as well. Does trade. Gets a stalker. But the oracles are still up and running. They're gonna get even more damage. 3 more probes, 4 more probes. Oh, 5, 6, 7. Oh, no, quite 7. There we go. 7. This one oracle has 16 probe kills. That is insane. 23 workers going down in total, and with that, Classic takes a massive economic advantage. Getting to Immortals, and yeah, Stray is just in a rough position here. And again, long rushes by ground. Like, it's a large map. He's going to move out now, but it's going to take far too long. There's already 1 Immortal. Shield battery's gathering energy once again. Classic, he does find a sentry. And Astray, he's got to go. Yeah, throws down a proxy pylon to reinforce on the front lines. Knocking down the rooks. We'll push in. Force fields are brutal. Slicing up the army. Immortal gets trapped. Shield battery not quite within range. The Immortal is going to go down, but oh my god, takes out most of the Stalkers and survives. The Immortal lives. GG gets called, and Classic, he will hold, he will defend, he will survive, and take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. Just a really rough start for Estrella. Again, he did miss the proxy. Took him a little bit too long to piece it all together. His shield battery was too late. Because of that, he did lose far too many workers. Then the Oracle harass just stacked up more and more. And Estrella was, yeah, he was pulled apart. He was forced into an all-in. He was too far behind economically. The Oracles did cripple him, and in the end, did not have enough. GG, well played. Classic will take the series. And with that, we have our semi-finals ready for us. Okay, we have 2 series before us. It's going to be a PvP between Zaun and herO, alongside a PvZ between Classic and Dark. Oh boy. Here we go. again, the GuMiho did go down to Zound, of course. Australia went down to Classic, and they have both gone into their respective semifinals matches. We are going to be going on a short break here, as we are nearing the halfway mark of the broadcast. So we're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, semifinals will be upon us, followed by the grand finals. See you soon. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, we just wrapped up with the quarterfinals of the Korean StarCraft League week number 64. Now we're here with the semis, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing himself, but he just took down GuMiho. It is Zhao. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss, the blue Protoss player representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. Let us go. Whew. As we have another PvP ahead of us here. Again, what's important is that Zhao, he actually has been taking down herO time and time again in these weekly tournaments. I think it was in the most recent Lima League that herO got his revenge. I say recent Lima League, I want to say it was maybe the November finals, where herO was able to take Zhao down. But again, Zhao has been on fire in this matchup. In general, I say this all the time, Zhao's best matchups are PvP and PvT. He has brought down the best Terran and Protoss players in the world in the past couple of months, but it is usually PvZ where he does struggle the most. Whether it's against players like Dark, Shin, Solar, the Korean Zerg players usually have his number, but in every other matchup, Zhao, he is arguably the favorite player. But also it's a PvP, so it's chaotic. It's a very chaotic series, and we'll see how our players do embrace this. So far, 2-gate opener out of herO. Likewise, we do have Zhao with a gate cyber opener instead. Okay, you have my attention. Zhao. Max Packs, is that you? Let's go. So Zhao going for a gated a cyber core. What does this mean? This means that Zhao should be going for a second gas into a Stargate, into an expansion on the low ground. This is Max Packs' go-to opener, and he is asking to be all in. herO, does he respond? Does he comply? Now herO going for a standard 2-gate opener. We have seen herO embracing this build as well in recent weeks. I'm curious if Zhao is maybe enamored with herO as well, as he has kind of embraced the Max Packs opener. So far, Cybercore is done. A double Stalker follow-up here out of herO. Makes sense. Double Stalker into a 3rd and 4th Stalker. My eyes are on these probes. So does herO set up a pylon across the map? Going in for a further scout. Zhao going for the Nexus before the Stargate. Ooh, very greedy. Very greedy here by Zhao. Cutting corners. And herO, does he just expand behind this? Does he just play it out? So far, I guess so. Yeah, there's no proxy. Stalkers, they move out across the map. herO, he does have a 3rd and 4th Stalker on the way, so he's continuing mass Stalker production. Technically, the probe is moving out for potentially a proxy pylon. 3rd gateway, won't be still in. Yep, there we go. I was like, for a moment there, I was like, yo, is herO going to expand? The answer is no. No. 3rd gateway gets thrown down, which means it should be setting up a proxy across the map. This will be for either a 4th gateway or even it's too late for herO, so it should be a 1-base 4-gate all-in from herO. There's a pylon. herO poking in. Zhao back at home. Can he hold? Can he survive? Now, the downside, there's a reason why Max Packs doesn't go for this specific variation. There's a reason why Max Packs usually goes Stargate before expansion, because then Max Packs can make Void Rays. And Void Rays defensively, I mean, they can hold their own in PvP. That's kind of like their one role in this matchup, to be honest. And we don't have that available here. Going for a 2nd gateway into a Twilight Council. No Robo either. Zhao, this is a bold defense. Throws down extra gateways. But the Twilight Council isn't going to help. It's not going to help here. There's that 4th gate. Zhao going into DTs. I mean, sure. Why not? Okay, that's a way to do it. There is no detection for herO, but I feel like it's gonna take too long. It's gonna take far too long. herO, he's on how many Stalkers? He's on 9. And 9 Stalkers against 3. He's pushing in. He waddles forward. And he can 2-shots. And he can 2-shot the army. Even 1-shot the Warping and Stalker. And Zhao's overwhelmed. He's just overwhelmed from this point forward. He's down to 1 Stalker left. The probes are targeted. GG. Oh, wait, never mind. there we go. That's sort of concerned what the characters were. But GG is going to be called. And with that, herO will take game number 1. GG. I don't know if Zhao said GG in both Korean and English, but there we go. Does take it. herO does take it. And again, just a crazy build out of Zhao to go for the initial gate cyber into Nexus. Again, you're usually like asking for an all-in at that point. He tried to respond with a Dark Shrine, with a Twilight Council, but again, DTs, they take far too long to come into play there, and as we saw, he didn't have the luxury of having that time. In the end, herO does snowball out of control. And now we're getting into game number 2. Jumping into game 2, going to be loading into Abyssal Reef. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the red Protoss player, currently down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he does go for another crazy opener. It is Zaun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the other South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. Go. As our workers do move out, both herO and Zaun, they set up on the high ground. Similar to Neon Violet Square, going for an economic opener here with a low ground setup looks quite risky on this map, just because you can attack from a different flank, from a different angle. You don't actually have high ground advantage, not as much as you would on a map like Ultra Love, for example. So we're going for standard openers, and this time we'll see if Zaun throws down a gateway. He does not, neither does herO. Both players are mirroring each other. Now, I did mention this in Game 1, how herO has been himself going for a Max Axis build from time to time. We even saw that in Max vs. herO last week during the Pigo Story Monday, and we might see that here as well. Oh my god, gate into Nexus! Zaun, he sees the economic opener, he raises you. Jesus, this is almost the greediest build you can go for. The greediest build is Nexus first. Just straight up, just straight raw Nexus first, which is crazy over it, which is wild. But even here, gate expand insane from Zaun. herO, he scouts, he confirms, he knows how greedy his opponent's being. And how does herO respond? Does he respond himself? I mean, with a gate cyber opener, he should be expanding here, but he might respond with an all-in. Might try to. Meanwhile, as we settle in, shout out to Ryu in the chat. Gracias, papi, gracias. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a great time. Gracias, papi, gracias. Get some rest, papi. I know it's quite late. I know it's quite late in the land of Italy, but I hope you did well. And thank you. Thank you so much. Gracias, gracias. As we're settling into the semifinals of the Korean StarCraft League. In the semifinals, there we go. Stargate opener out of herO. He's just going Stargate open into an expand. Okay, herO, he's going to be quite far behind when it comes to the worker counts, but he has potential for damage. And herO should expand. There we go. Nexus is on the way. Handa mimit, Pat. Handa mimit. As we have our standard opener out of herO, greedy opener out of Zaun. Probes are building up. It's going to be on herO to try to, again, reciprocate and stabilize and get some economic damage done across the map. Oracle's on the way. Not just the Oracle's Adepts as well. It's going to be on Zaun to defend, to keep up with both Adept and Oracle harass. See if he can. herO is moving out. We'll threaten a shade towards the natural. And doesn't quite commit yet. Denies mining time. Oracle towards the main. Stalker's in position. Zaun is ready. Oracle gets deflected. Adepts don't commit. herO just playing it patiently here. Zaun does take a worker lead. Up in probes, he gets one probe. He gets two. Two probe kills so far. Not bad. herO getting damage. Shading in towards the main. Oh! Does dive into the main base, getting one more probe in the main. That's going to be 3 worker kills. Can he get 4? Oh, not quite. He will. Gets 4, gets 5, gets 6, 7. I say 7, 8 workers go down in total. Nice damage dealt here by herO, and just like that, herO does take a worker lead. So despite going for a later Nexus because of the Oracle harass, because of the Adept harass, he makes up for that. Makes up for it. Takes a lead. Takes an advantage. Now the pressure is on Zaun. Behind this, Zaun will have much faster Blink Stalkers. He's got 2 gateways so far. Attempts to rush into a third, but is delayed. No shot. The greed. Jesus. I mean, it is Abyssal Reef. One of the big features of this map is how large it is and how long the rush distance is by ground. How defendable you are on 4 or 5 bases. herO takes his own third. We're gearing up towards a longer game. herO does have that slight economic advantage. Hallucination confirms that Zaun did indeed expand. Could have been a fake out, and Zaun could have gone for like a gateway explosion into an all-in. Hallucination confirms that is not the case. Robo follow-up into Forge, into upgrades. Zaun still gearing up. Likewise, so is herO. And Zaun confirms. Zaun, he sees that his Forge is late, as herO's is already done. So Zaun is going to be slightly behind in upgrades. Slightly. Is aware. Now we can settle in. As we head towards the mid-game, a lot of this will come down to positional play. Whether one can outposition the other, hit the third, hit the natural. Get into the bases. Again, it is a large map. As we do see is Zaun just taking up even further. Considering that Zaun knows he's going to be down in upgrades, it would make sense if Zaun just played defensively. If he just stayed at home and fortified himself, taked up into charge, into Archons, into Disruptors. Really, I'm going to be looking at herO to be the active player. Going to be looking to herO here. So we have the Bay behind this. So Zaun taking a risk, but he's going to be skipping Archons and going straight for the Bay, straight for Disruptors. Meanwhile, herO throwing down a massive gateway explosion. It's going to be 6 gates on the way. 4th base as well. This is a risky move by Zaun, but it can more than pay off. 100%. Disruptors, they may have been nerfed in the other matchups, but they're still quite potent in PvP. Very potent. They're still one-shot. As Zaun pulls away. Zaun pulls away, gets a 4th base, links over the wall, going for the 4th of herO. herO across the map. He's not quite in position. Mineral line is under fire. Oh, the stasis! Up! Ooh. Doesn't quite go off. Zaun gets 2. Gets 2 workers. Disruptor production has begun. 2nd robo's on the way for double disruptor production. He's getting there. Getting there. Likewise here, moving out. Does have a massive amount of zealots, and without those Novas popping off, I mean, Zaun is going to have a hard time holding on. Nova goes up. Oh! Doesn't quite connect. herO committing in. And here comes the 2nd Nova. Once again, no major connection. And herO, he dives on the army. Disruptors have to pull back. Expansion is going to be falling. And herO, he can continue. He can continue here. Moving towards the middle line. 3rd Disruptor has arrived. Better Nova towards the end. There is a better Nova. Takes down the Archon. But after all this, the 4th base does fall. herO, he brings it down. And he could try to keep pushing for now, waiting for reinforcements. Poking in. Oh, the diver. I connect. Down trying to hold on. Down in supply. Novas have reset. And he was just waiting for his moment. Oh! Oh, takes down one sentry. And I believe that was all 3 Novas. Yeah, now here he can move in. He can charge forward. Collapse on the Stalkers. Focus on the Disruptors. He gets, oh, does take it over to the face. Oh, my, the friendly fire. GG gets called. And herO, he will overwhelm. He will take down Zound 2-0. Will advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. When you rush into disruptors like that, you have to make them count, and unfortunately it took far too long for the Novas to connect with those Stalkers. More often than not, we saw herO splitting, avoiding damage. We saw one Nova connect with an Archon. We saw Nova connect with like 1 or 2 Zealots at a time. Nothing major, and as a result, herO was able to punish the greed of Zound. GG. GG, well played, did punish. And with that, herO will advance on to the grand finals, and the question becomes, who will face up against him in those finals? Who is it going to be? As up next, we have a PvZ between Dark and Classic. Let's go. Let us go. Again, it's been a while since we've had the luxury of casting Dark. It's been quite some time, but now we can embrace him. Here we go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic. See someone in the chat. Is MaxWax playing today? MaxWax does not play in KSL. KSL is open to all regions, to all players, but it is typically a little bit later in Europe, so MaxWax doesn't compete in this. But MaxWax does compete in most other events. In events like the Pigastore Monday, in events like Wardy TV Monday, and also in, I believe, the Hub Cup, which I think is planning on being the replacement to the KSRC, a more European focused event. But yeah, MaxWax, he doesn't play in this. Doesn't play in KSL. Meanwhile, Dark does go for the proxy hatch. Will be blocking the natural base here of Classic. Will be disrupting the opener. As a result, Classic has to pull the boys. He has to make the first Zealot. He has to respond. Later Neo, it's fortified. Yeah, quite late in Europe. It's a Korean league. It's called a Korean StarCraft league, but it's open to all regions. That's why we had Australia playing earlier. Australia was playing earlier, but again, it's very late for Europe, so MaxWax usually doesn't play. As here we go, the Zealot does arrive. Natural base under fire. Dark expanding behind this, and usually the danger for Dark is going to be in the follow-up. So basically he's forcing out some units here. It's going to be a Zealot, it's going to be a Depths. Once this gets cleaned up, then Classic can counterattack, as the hatchery is going to be cancelled and it's denied. From here, Dark goes into the main. He can try to go for a gas steal, but the gases have already been taken. So far, Classic looking solid. There's that natural here from Classic, and Dark did double expand. And again, we'll see if Classic can do any counter damage here. He did only respond with 1 gateway. There's no second gate, so Classic can move out, but doesn't really have much to work with. A handful of Lings and a Queen should be enough for Dark. Should have enough. Classic moving out. Back at home, going for a Stargate opener. Here we go. Classic will take down some larva, at least is trying to. Oh! No, never mind. Dark, he saves his larva. Queen pops out. A nice catch on the transferring workers. Oh! We'll get 1 drone We'll get one. We'll get what? Oh my god, Dark, calm down. The drones will survive. A nice gas trick. Alas, the adepts get locked down by the Lings, and Dark holds. Dark, he does hold on, going for a counterattack. He defends his mineral line, doesn't lose any workers. Building up his queens, droning up, and Classic behind this is going to be opening up with an Oracle. Oracle first by Classic. So standard follow-up, but alas, Dark does have a nice lead for himself. He has map control. Link speed is almost done. Dark, he does move out across the map. Does move out. Oh, the D-gens are in the chat. Oh, no. Not like this. It's fine. Good morning. As Classic, he's got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do here. He does make his way towards that third. So far, Queens are keeping up. Oh. Dark attacking his own hatchery. One drone goes down. Finally, some damage. Gets one, he gets two, he gets three. 3 drone kills. Oracle pulls away. Nice damage dealt here from Classic. Behind this, building up towards the second and third Oracle. Meanwhile, Dark rushing into an earlier lair. Okay, this was around a 4-minute 40, 4:35 lair timing. He's going to be rushing into it. This can lead into Nidus play. He is taking 3 gases, so Nidus play is going to be viable here. If this was going to be drop lords, we would already see Overlord speed. And we'll see what Dark does embrace. I'm leaning towards Link Queen Nidus all in, but we'll see. He's droning. He's crazy. Okay, he's making workers. He's droning up, which means that here comes Evo Chamber and Dark. He might just be rushing into Ling Hydra. Just something more Mac oriented. Okay, my apologies, Dark. I doubted you. Oracle's ASIP into the main. Dark still droning up. Stays strapped towards the natural. And Dark, does pull away in time. Catching 1 drone. Oracle's A busts into the main. Getting 4 drone kills. Very nice damage. Queens do get softened up, but they the Oracles get softened up, but they do head towards the third. Getting 4 drones. That's +1 range on the way. Extra gases. Again, we should be seeing a Hydrogen soon. And there it is. Hydrogen has been placed. Extra gas is being taken, which means we could see a fast infestation bit into fast lurkers. As this is very gas intensive from Dark. Once again, getting supply block though. 5 Overlords on the way. Classic behind this, gearing up. And working on the next step, building up an immortal count. Interesting. Classic was being active. He did not see any roaches though. Did not see a roach warren. There's the infestation bit. Dark did not cancel the Hydrogen. Now, this should be for Hydra Tech into Hive, into Hydra Lurker. But something that is viable here, if it was roaches, I think I'd be leaning more towards it. We could be seeing Swarm Host, but I think Dark is just going to embrace a faster Hive. Maybe on a different map. So Oracles are being active. Going for the 4th. 4th base taking a lot of hits, but the Hydras, they do respond. And they can target down these Oracles. He gets 1. Oh, almost 2. Almost 2 Oracles. Classic gets out. Behind this, not going for any kind of Robotech. I mean, I say that he's making Immortals, but behind it, going into Storm. Storm is going to be a splash damage choice. I mean, that can work very well, very nicely against Hydras. Meanwhile, here comes the Hive, as I did mention. Should be Hive into Lurker Den, into fast Hydra Lurker Tech. Dark moving out a little bit prematurely, though. He doesn't even have Hydra speed. We'll move out. Classic should be ready for this. He doesn't have Storm, but he does have an army. Dark sneaking up on the 4th base, and he will force a cancel. That's all he wanted. Very well timed. Dark, he moves out, denies the 4th, and gets the hell out of here. Waddles away. Very nice pickup. Behind this Lurker Den is halfway done. And he's getting into the Lunkers, Pappy. Let's go. Never question Dark. Yeah, it was very nicely timed. Very nicely timed. Unfortunately, Classic was out of position. He could have defended if he had seen the army moving out, but Classic has no vision. He has no vision here in the center of the map, so did not see them move out. Hive is now done. Here come the Hive upgrades, getting into Lurker range, getting into the lunge for the Hydras. We have yet to see the lunge really be too impactful at all yet, whether it comes to the PTR or the new patch. Has been relatively lackluster, but we'll see. We'll see if Dark can make good use of it here. Usually it's done to either retreat or to chase an army, more so than anything. Mainly retreat. That's where we've seen it. We've seen it most. Do you have Night Storm on the way? Night Storm's on the way. Overlord poised to dive in towards that third. Likewise, another Overlord here on the right hand side as well. Classic moving forward. But yeah, this area is so wide open. Classic can't really gain ground. Lurkers, they hold their own. Classic taking up towards Skytoss. Fleeping and Stargate on the way. And can Dark try to break Classic before Skytoss comes into play here? Before the Tempest, before the carriers. Overlord's diving in. Waiting for those Night Swarms. More Lurkers morphing in as well. They're getting ready. Changeling with the main. Oh, never mind. I thought that was a Changeling, but no, it is the Depths. And here comes the Nidus. Nidus towards the natural. Overseer into the third. Classic, he does respond, he does react, and he will deny it. And Nidus is denied. Dark moving forward. Distracts the main army. Nice run towards the third base. Classic, likewise, he responds in time. Does react. Tempest production has begun. And so far, the Classic is holding. Ooh, the Night Storm does finish though. Oh, that should not have happened. Two Lurkers do get out. At the same time, with Devastation into the mineral line. Drones are going to be falling as well. Dark has to respond. Nidus into the main. Classic is on it. It's on it, but probes are being denied here. Dev's finally being cleaned up. Dark, he's getting damage done. Jesus, how many Lurkers does he have? Getting up to 18. 18 Lurkers for Dark. Contamination here on the Stargate. You love to see it. Tempests are delayed. He sees, he knows. Ideally wants to break Classic before there are too many Tempests. Storms was underway. And they will zone. Dark rotating over, running out of storms. There's still two more storms left. Lurkers are gaining ground, moving forward. Hydra rotating over, catches one of the Tempests. That should not have happened. Nice launch here from Dark, takes out one of the Tempests. Base under fire. And the fourth base is going to fall at the same time. Zelaramai does hit the fifth base of Dark. He's more than happy to give it up. Expansion falls. Oh my god, and Classic, he's cornered. Oh my god, he cannot get out. He's forced to recall. Brutal losses for Classic. He was pinned, he was cornered. And does he have a storm? Okay, he still does. Still has a couple of storms. Dark still forcing his way in. Brutal storm here on the ramp. Nidus into the main. Jesus, that's a lot of Tempest. Getting up to 6 Tempest here. But the Lurkers, they don't care. They push in nonetheless. Launch from the Hydras gets one. Based on one, almost 2 Tempest. Oh, barely not 2. The Lurkers are getting towards the middle line. Night Storm does complete. And Dark, he can rotate over. He can, and he will. Dives into the Nidus and dives out into the main base. On top of the production. And Hydra's trading with these High Templar, at least trying to. More Hydra's trickling in. Stargate goes down. Yeah, Hydras and Queens right into the main base. Dark going for the kill move. And Classic just can't keep up. He lost the fourth. He lost mining at the third. Third base barely survived. Production's being depowered. +3 is denied. And GG gets called. Dark, he will take game number 1. GG. Again, the killer instinct here by Dark, it was very close as well. Remember, Dark, he struck just as Tempest was being produced, was able to contaminate, and that's when he struck the hardest as well. I was a little bit surprised, but it all did begin with the first Nidus Storm at the third. It did barely finish in time, and with that, Classic's attention was being pulled apart, and then Dark, he dove on the fourth base. Now, part of the success here for Dark is the map itself. We spoke about it here on King's Cove. Unlike Neon Violet Square and unlike Abyssal Reef, King's Cove is more open and is more vulnerable, specifically at the 4th and 5th base. The 3 base setup is very fortifiable, but the 4th base is more exposed. It's on the low ground, it's out in the open, there's no high ground advantage, there's no choke point either. The 4th is very much so exposed. And that was the goal of Dark, is to punish that 4th base. Time and time again, he cancelled it initially, then killed it. And he forced Classic to fight at the 4th as well. And Classic did struggle. Did struggle with that expansion, and with that, Dark takes a lead. Now we're getting into game number 2. Jumping into game 2, we're going to be loading into Whispers of Gold, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is Classic. Is the Hydra Dash from the most recent patch? Yes, the lunge is a part of the feature of the most recent patch. It is a hive-based upgrade, and it lasts a second. It's a 1-second dash. It allows you to quickly try to either run away or get under the army. We saw with it, Dark, he was able to, I think he got like 2 Tempests with the dash, was able to pull back from a storm. It's definitely a nice little utility unit. And yeah, we see Dark making full use of it here, at least in game 1. At least here in game 1. And now we're loading into another very exposed map. I'm curious what the vetoes were, not gonna lie. We're loading into Whispers of Gold. This is a very small map. I say very small. It's short rush distance by ground and very exposed 3rd and 4th. So again, unlike maps like Ultra Love or Ley Lines, or even, the larger maps like Abyssal Reef and Neon Violet Square, these bases are much more exposed, much more vulnerable. If Dark did want to cut workers early on and go for something like a 3-base all-in, it can hit very hard on Whispers of Gold. So aggression is definitely favored here on this map, and it can be harder to fortify yourself and turtle into a longer game state. So it can be more difficult. We'll see what Classic goes for. We'll see what Dark decides, or how aggressive he decides to be. Here we go. Here we go as link speed is being researched. Dark going to be pulling out, saturating his bases. So far so good. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Stargate opener here for Classic. So far, everything looking as it should be. As a reminder as well, Dark, he did force a more disrupted start in game number 1 with the proxy hatch, with the hatch block, I should say. This time, Classic having a much more comfortable start to the game. Settling in, getting his naturals, soon to be a 3rd base. Dark as well. And on a map like this, I don't really see Dark rushing into a lair as quickly. As a reminder as well, winding it back to what happened in game 1, if you remember, Dark did rush into, what was a 4:35 lair timing. So it was lair first, into Hydra, into Fast Hive. So very tech heavy, rushing into Hydra Lurker, and Classic couldn't quite punish him. On a smaller map like this, we shouldn't really be being that greedy. So Dark will take a different approach. Oracle's on the way. First steps a shade in. Link speed is done. And Dark, he can hunt them down. Oh, he commits to the shade. Bold move by Classic as he will lose the Adepts. Yeah, one Adept goes down, the other gets surrounded. This was not worth it for a Classic. And we'll lose both of them without getting a single drone kill. Oracle dives in. The Queens, can they keep up? The Spores are delayed. Which means we get 2-3 drone kills so far. Not bad, but the Oracle takes a lot of hits. Behind this, we do see a Nexus followed by a Twilight Council. That is a Twilight Council quite early here from Classic. So this could be one of two things. I'm leaning towards either Glaive Adepts or Blink. Glaive is behind this. Regardless, it's going to be an aggressive follow-up here from Classic. Dark, he responds with an early Roach Horn hidden behind the mineral line. Now, if Classic goes for Blink, I would really like his position, because it would mean that he's ready for the all-in. It means that Blink finishes up just in time as the Roaches move out. Speaking of all-in, Dark, he's knocking down the rocks. Knocking down the rocks, he's not droning whatsoever. He is taking 2 gases, Mass, Ling, Roach, Queen walk across the map. It's all or nothing. No, it's Adepts! It's not Blink, it's going to be Adepts instead. Glaives are on the way. I mean, this is an aggressive build, and this is designed to catch Dark if he was droning. But we know Dark, he's not droning, not at all, and now he realizes. Yeah, Classic sees no saturation at the third base, it's an all-in, and Glaives will not really help too much against this. Oh boy. As Dark is welling across the map. I mean, Glaive Adepts, they help against Lings, but they don't do much against Queens or Roaches. And that's what's coming. That's what is coming across the map. Oracles, they hit the natural. They get 5 drones, which is impactful. There's barely an economy to begin with, but here comes the all-in. Third base is forfeit, but it's not about the third, it's about the natural. Can Dark break the natural base instead, as Glaives is halfway done? It's halfway done. We have Mass Adepts. They will take down one of the Queens. Where are the Roaches? The Roaches are still welding across the map. They're a little bit delayed. Queens are falling. Nice start here for Classic. He gets 1 Queen. Meanwhile, the Oracle going for the Lings. We'll try to shave them up. But here comes Roach Ravager towards the natural. Third base goes down. And once the door opens and the Lings, they can just flood into the natural itself and surround everything. Stasis trap on the way. The Vials! Oh, they deny the stasis. Nicely done. The boys are being pulled, and Dark, he's doing it. He's breaking through. There just is barely anything left to defend. Glaives now finishes up, but I mean, doesn't matter. It helps against Lings, true. Does help against Lings. Once again, boys being pulled. Cybercore goes down. No more Adepts can be warped in. They're going to be warping in Slow Lords instead. 14 probes do fall. Nice surround here on the Ravager. Classic does kill 1 Ravager, thankfully, but the workers go down, and now the Adepts are exposed. Now they are exposed, and the natural base has been broken, has been compromised. Darkstarter stepping forward, catching the final Adepts. There's 1 left. And now soon to be none. Oh, he lives. Adept barely survives. Zelsane warp in to defend. Final Adept goes down. GG gets called, and Dark will take the 2-0. Will advance on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, Classic, unfortunately, it took him too long to scout, too long to realize that there was an all-in coming across the map. Classic blindly was going into his own Glaive Adept follow-up, which again is designed to catch a player droning. It was the opposite case here. Dark was not droning. So Classic gambled a little bit, and he did roll the dice, rolled poorly in that. I see in the chat, no battery, no hope. Even if there wasn't a battery overcharge, I think Classic dies then and there anyway. Just a really unfortunate turn of events when it came to the setup for the for his build. Again, just took him too long to realize what was happening and the danger he was in. With that, GG well played. Dark will advance on to the finals, and we have a ZVP between Dark and herO. Let's go. Let us go. Again, herO took down Zound to make it to the finals. Dark takes down Classic, and now we have another ZVP. Just need a moment to set that up. Just need a moment for those finals. Beautiful. And it looks like game 1 is going to be on El Dorado. Oh, again, we rarely cast on this map, but it's a best of 5, so as a result, there are less vetoes, and we can embrace some of these more unorthodox maps. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, his ex-teammate, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. And this is the finals that we yearn for. Dark and herO, they used to face week after week after week after week. Pre-EWC, it was post-Esports World Cup, where herO and Dark, they both went on vacation. They took some time off, so they haven't been facing each other as often. But the first half of the year, it was almost on a weekly basis, we would see herO and Dark face off in all these open tournaments, whether it was events like KSL, ESL Open Cup Asia, or ESL Open Cup Americas as well. In the more modern iteration of StarCraft in the second half of the year, it's been more so Beyond Shin and Nightmare, or Beyond Shin and Trap. They have been the more active Koreans, but previously it was herO and Dark. So great to see them once again, you know. It's the beginning of 2024 all over again. Let's go. And they do often go back and forth. I say back and forth. herO has the edge over Dark. You know, I want to say like 60 or 70% edge over Dark. herO, he has won the most KSLs in the history of Korean StarCraft League. This is herO's tournament, but Dark does usually make him work for it as well. And again, does bring him down from time to time. So I'm hoping for a back and forth. I'm hoping this is not a 3-0, and it's very rare for there to be a 3-0 in either direction. We should be seeing a Game 4 or a Game 5. As we get into this, shout out to Neat Pete in the chat. Neat Pete number 8. Happy Sunday, everyone. Gab, happy Gab. Yes, for those in the, I believe, Americas, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. I think it's ticked over in Europe for Monday. Here, of course, we're halfway through Monday already. Feliz Sunday, Feliz Sunday. Domingo. Take care. As Dark is going to be opening up the mineral wall and expanding at the triangular third location. Now, this is one of the big features of the map, of course, is the gold minerals, or the golden wall, if you will. So you can mine through these patches, gain access to the southern half of the map. You can also take the gold base as a fourth from the opposite side as well. The downside is you don't take the gases, but I mean, it's worth it taking all those minerals. Likewise, there's also a golden wall or a regular wall in the center that you can mine through to gain access to that Cell Naga. So Dark is going to be expanding towards the south. I would imagine herO expanding towards the north. Each will have their own half of the map. Meanwhile, Stargate opener from herO. No surprises there. Chasing down the Overlord. Dark, he will be able to maintain himself though. It does keep the Overlord alive. And we'll see where our players go. I know that our eyes have been very much so on Dark, but herO himself can also be a very assertive, very aggressive player. Not necessarily the most unorthodox, but he's willing to go for, again, a variety of builds, whether it's Glaive Net follow-ups, does often go for 8-gate blink or 3 basic blink all-ins. Can rush into Sky Toss. Willing to be more chaotic. And it looks like herO, he's going to be expanding towards Dark. This is something that we don't see as often. Usually when one player expands on one half of the map, we see the other go for the other side instead and freely expand and head towards the mid to late game. But here, herO, he will also embrace the lower half of the map instead. And that means that the rush distance by ground, is very short. It's very short. We're like, what, like 2 screens or like 1 screen? You can see here in 1 screen, we're like touching tips here, like third base to third base. It's crazy. Okay. Which means Dark, he can just cut workers earlier, throw down a Roach one, and just go for a Roach all-in. He can even just walk the queens across the map as well. So bold move by herO. Bold move. And there's a reason why we rarely see our players expand like this into each other. But that's why we love herO and Dark as well. The Overlord gets sniped. But they have no fear. No fear, papi. No fear. They're both locked in with each other. And they like it. Oh no. They like it, Pat. Meanwhile, it's going to be a 4:45 lair timing, or around 4:40 lair timing. Roach Warren has in place. Again, no surprises there. Should be a commitment into Roach Ravager for Dark. The question becomes, when does he cut workers? Still going to be worth taking the 4th base. So as we mentioned, you usually take the 4th base here on this side of the wall to actually take advantage of the gold minerals. The downside, as we mentioned, is no gas is available to you, but the minerals are more than worth it. Dark will embrace that expansion. Oracle's dipping in. Dip in. Taking down some of those tumors. We see Dark is real quick to just replace them. Pushing forward. The creep is encroaching upon the 3rd. Eva Chambers on the way for +1. Tells us that Dark, he intends to drone a little bit further. He's up to 3 base saturation. I'm going to say that Dark actually doesn't need to drone. He can just transfer. He can just transfer his workers over and stay on a low drone count and just max out with Roach Ravager. And that's most likely what we're going to be seeing here. And this is where I'm really concerned for herO. My concerns are there. Oh no. Can he keep up? Oh, actually, Hydroden's on the way. There we go. There's that transfer over towards the gold minerals. Oracles, they do dip between the bases. They get eyes on the gold base. Drones get pulled away. Dark, he's maintaining himself. But yeah, I was shocked to see the Hydrogen because that tells us that Dark, he is teching. He's taking up a little bit further. He does drone up further to 70. Getting into Roach Hydra. No Ravagers, not yet. Spinning his gas on Hydra instead. Meanwhile, meanwhile, herO himself taking up as well in towards Storm. And here we go, the armies will clash. Pushing forward, spreading more creep. Does get eyes on the stasis. Does notice. herO trying to take the gold? He's crazy. Starkey takes control of the Zelnaga. Moving in. Doesn't have enough to break herO. Has to be careful not to overextend. Dark pulling back. Building up more Hydras. Ooh. Once again, threatening a dive. Pushing into the army. Stasis goes off. Oh, 3 stasis even. Oh my god. Darky gets caught out. He has to get out of here. Moving forward with the Hydras, but that's a risky move. Hydras, they have range at least. Hydras are exposed. They have to back up. Stasis is about to run out. Dark is going to be committing. Does commit in. Immortals are ready. Storm is almost done. Again, herO, he did try to expand. It's crazy. Expansion is denied, and the creep, I mean, I don't actually see herO being able to expand outside of taking the northern expansions. But alas, he's not. Focusing towards the south, Oracles get caught out. 1-2 Oracles fall, massive pickups. That many less stasis traps. herO going for the golds. Dark instead, he rotates, a risky maneuver. Headed towards the natural. As Darky does slow step forward. Takes down the Cybercore. Here he has to respond. Coming in first round. Darky takes down the wall, takes down the gateways. Pushing in towards that 4th at the same time. herO diving on the Hydras. Ooh, Storm will zone. Storm zones away. Expansion, that's a kill, not a cancel. That's a kill on the Nexus. herO in trouble. And he's just being starved out. Right now, the win condition for Dark, as he double expands, he's taking the gold base and the northern expansion as well, is just to starve herO out. Make sure he cannot take a 4th. Hive is on the way. Lurker Gen on the way. And Dark, he's not really interested in pushing in. Oh. Hydra just being cleaned up. Very nice catch by herO. We'll lose all the High Templar though. Which is brutal. And Darky rotates. Keeping up with the army. We'll catch him out. herO does blink away. Still decent catch here from herO. I'm sorry, from Dark. Takes down the Oracle. herO keeping up. Still no 4th expansion. And Dark can now embrace Lurker attack. Ooh. Nice storms though. I mean, that's a lot of storms for herO. True. He has to push in here and now. I mean, he's all in at this point. His 3-base all in. There's no 4th. There's no economy. It's all or nothing. Dark coming in for this round. Nice storms. Oof. Yeah, the storms are brutal. Dark collapsing on the army. There's 1 storm left. And Dark, he wants to catch this High Templar. There's the final storm. Oh my god. Oh wait, no, this is I didn't realize. That's a full energy High Templar in the back line. He's got more storms. He can keep going. He can keep going. There's the storm. Lunge is done. Dark pulls away. Does pull away here, desperately trying to re-expand and take another expansion, but Dark is maxing out. This time he has access to Lurkers. Dark will lose the southern expansion, but he didn't want it anyway. Just want to make sure that herO would not have it. Dives into the natural. And Dark, he's more than happy to trade. Takes down the Archons. Storm coming in. Massive storm here on the Hydras. But here he's losing far too many units. Far too many Stalkers go down. Again, the storms are good, but there's just not enough. There's not enough here. GG gets called, and Dark, he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Dark does take a lead here. Again, herO had it was crazy to see herO expand towards Dark in such a fashion. It was like, I mean, if he's locked in with Dark, and especially if Dark goes for, I mean, again, a longer kind of game state there, Dark, he just gained map control, never allowed herO to expand, never allowed him to take a 4th base. herO was all in. He was just all in, he was committed, and he did not have enough to break through. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Dark does take a lead. And herO finding out the hard way why typically you don't expand towards the Zerg player there on El Dorado. That was just a crazy maneuver. Didn't pay off. Did not pay off in the end. I was expecting herO, maybe if we're expanding, if we're taking these southern bases, then maybe herO was going to go for an earlier aggression, earlier push, but that was not the case. And with that, Dark did snowball out of control. GG. GG, well played. Now we're getting into game number 2 on King's Cove. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports, leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the Red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG, down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back. It is herO. If only there's a way to dash away from them. Unfortunately, Dark took a lot of storms to the face, but again, it didn't matter. Like, Dark, he had enough of an advantage where, despite taking those storms, he was able to overwhelm herO nonetheless. And Dark, once again, going for the hatch block. Does move out across the map. We saw this from Dark in his series against Classic, going to be hatch blocking that natural and delaying the expansion for as long as possible. As the drone has arrived and the hatchery is thrown down. Behind this, Dark is not going for an all-in. Again, this is only designed to disrupt the economy. Behind this, Dark should be double expanding. Should take his natural, should take his third, take his gases, and get into a longer game state. As the probe comes into the main, and Dark, he slips into his own natural. There we go. Natural's going to get up and running. herO, he does pull 5 probes to deal with this. Maybe forced to make the first Zealot as well. There we go, Zealot's on the way. You see Dark going for the gas, so it's going to be a hatch into gas, into pool, into a third base. And this is all going to come down to the counter attack of herO. herO, he is going to have, oh, a forge. Okay, herO, a very interesting follow-up. He's going for an all-in. This is very unique. You don't often see forge responses, but with this, he can go into fast +1. He can try to set up a cannon rush as well in the low ground. He's cannon rushing. Let's go. A delayed cannon rush, but a cannon rush nonetheless. Here come the pylons. herO, he cancels the expansion. The pylon gets spotted. And Dark, how does he respond? The spawning pool is still just now finishing up. Here come the cannons. And herO, he might be able to contain Dark on one base. Boys are being pulled. The cannon is thrown down. Ooh, but is cancelled, is denied. Oh my god, creep is spreading. The drone gets caught out, and the cannon rush is denied. The cannon rush is completely shut down. herO trying to get behind the middle line. There's still a little bit of room left for some cannons. Oh, he gets one. He gets two. Gets two cannons, but these are laser cannons. Darky pulls the boys. Lings, they pop out. They get on top of the zealots. Adept has arrived as well. Yo, can that third cannon finish? The other two are surrounded. It's getting chaotic. Adept does focus on the Lings. Adept goes down. Zealot as well. But one cannon will finish. Is that enough? Is the one cannon enough? Queen pops out. Lings, they struggle to get surface area. Nah, it's going to be targeted down. Dark holds. Dark, he will hold on. He will lose 4 drones in the process. But he also killed a cannon, a zealot, an adept, 2 pylons. And here, he has no natural. He has no natural base Dark. He double expands. Perfectly fine. And Dark does take a lead. Dark, he's down in drones for the time being, but he can drone up. He's fine. He can drone up from here. He can saturate, and herO, he doesn't really have much left. Doesn't have much behind this. He's rushing into +1 attack. Link speed is almost done. Dark is going to be able to flood across the map, hunt down these adepts, and potentially break the natural, because this natural is completely wide open. Here we go. The Lings are moving out. Dark, he's not droning. Adepts, they spot the Lings. They have to race back home. There's the recall, and we need a wall. We need to wall as quickly as possible. Gateway gets thrown down. But here come the Lings. Oh, the wall! The wall is open. The wall is wide open. Lings, they come in first round. They catch one of the adepts. One of it falls. But here he does fully wall off. Lings trying to knock it down, going for the gateway. Gateway gets surrounded. Ooh, that's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel. But it looks like herO, he will hold on. He's got a sentry, he has a force field. Dark gets a probe. herO does survive, and now Dark can drone. Now Dark is going to saturate, he's going to drone up his bases, and we can calm things down and enter a longer game state. But again, the game could have ended then and there. So thankfully, herO was able to wall in time. He was able to wall in time. See in chat, damn, herO is crazy. He is crazy. Like again, it was such a delayed like cannon rush response. There was a slim chance for it to work, and as we saw, it didn't. But that's why we love herO. He's an animal. Absolute animal. Here we go, he does throw down his cannon, sorry, his gateway, setting up for a Twilight Council. With fast +1, I would love to see either blink or charge. There it is, blink is on the way. This looks like a 2-base blink all in. He's on 3 gates. We should be seeing a 4th gateway, +2 is on the way. herO, he will have quite an amount of potent stalkers, but we'll see. We'll see how hard he does commit, or if he just expands. You know, Dark droning up his 3rd base, massing up Lings. There we go. There's the, I believe, 4th gate. Yeah, 4th gateway is on the way. So 2-base 4-gate blink all in. herO setting up for the expand. Ling does spot the probe. And that may trigger Dark to drone. And he is droning. Okay. Dark is droning up. herO warping in more stalkers. Getting ready for his eventual move out. Protecting that probe. Throws that. Oh god, Lings are coming for the surround. There's one force field, but that's a brittle surround. Forces a recall. A herO caught out in the open. Darky will punish. Catches the final Stalker. Blink is not done. And that's a brutal loss here for herO. Losing the Stalkers. Still stuck on 2 bases. I mean, again, +2 is halfway done, and there we go. Now we secure the all-in here. Robo, that should be for the Warp Prism. 5th Gateway. Dark is checking for a 3rd. Confirms that there is none. And Dark hopefully doesn't make too many workers. Dark is on 3 gases. He could get away with a 4th gas, I feel. He could probably get away with a 4th gas, but for now, he's focusing on Ling Ravager production. It's all about that Ling Ravager. Yes, there is a Nexus on the way, but more than anything, Dark is going to be vulnerable to a move out. He checks, he confirms, there is a Nexus. Dark's still making more Lings. Now going back into droning. And hero's just had a very rough start. It's been it's been a rough start, Pappy. Rough start. Going for the Temple Archives, working towards Storm. Now, when I saw the Robo, I assumed it was going to be for a Warp Prism to move out across the map with a 5 gates, 2 base all in. But there is no Prism. The Robo actually didn't make anything. So, nothing with the Robo, just going for the Temple Archives, which means herO plans on macroing. Does plan on macroing. Overseer tries to confirm. Observer now on the way. Alongside +3. And upon seeing this, Dark, he should drone. He's now getting a 5th expansion. He can drone up to 4 base saturation at this point. He has a safe enough army here to do so. Taking up into a Bailey Nest. Interesting. So Darky is not going for the Hydrogen. For now, he's just going Ling Bane Roach Ravager. He's sticking with a mid-game composition. Tech-wise, he's not being too greedy. And we can see Dark is going to be joining up to 74. 74 workers. So far, so good. A herO, he will have fast +3. True, like the upgrade advantage is going to be huge for those Stalkers. It's going to be massive. But it may not matter, as Dark is going to be the first to max out. He should be focusing on maxing. Oh, spots the Observer. And Dark can take a couple of different approaches here. He spots the would-be 4th, which means he takes up into Hydrogen. I do like this for Dark. As he heads into the mineral line, forces to get thrown down, looking the army back. Whilst they graze the Stalkers. Meanwhile, the Lings, they get into the mineral line. 15 probes go down, and brutal damage. The Lyles, they connect. And Storms are being forced out, and herO, he can't hold on. Cannot hold on, not anymore. He'll lose his entire mineral line. Storms, they will zone away the Roach Ravager. Sorry, it's herO, he will hold. But at a cost of 18 probes. Ay. And behind this, Dark is taking. We have the Hive on the horizon. Lurker Den as well. Again, Dark looking very comfortable here. Storm zones Dark away. He dives in, going for that Templar, forces in those Archons. Speaking of, he does focus one of them down. He's going to get the other. Yes, nice both. So efficient trades here from Dark, trading Lings for Archons. I will lose a couple of Roaches though. And back at home, Dark should be remaxing with Hydra Lurker. 15 Hydras are on the way. Dark getting caught out. herO, he's committed. Will deny the 6th. Dark coming in for a concave, and again, this area is just so wide open. Dark, he collapses in, Stutter says forward. GG gets called, and he gets surrounded, and Dark will take a 2-0 lead. GG. GG, well played again. A wild response from herO. As a reminder, this all started with a delayed cannon rush. It was crazy. It was a very late cannon rush response because of the cannons, they didn't get up and running. Or I should say, one cannon got up for a couple of seconds. It killed 4 drones, but that's all it did. Killed 4 workers. From there, Dark was looking very comfortable. The downside of the build from herO, or the response from herO, is that his natural was heavily delayed. So even though he killed 4 drones, it wasn't really worth it, as Dark was able to freely drone, freely saturate, and he was in full control, denied the 3rd base over and over again, delayed it for so long, denied the 4th base, and yeah, here he kind of stumbled his way into the mid game, was overwhelmed, and with that we're getting into game number 3. Gonna be loading into Abyssal Reef. Let's go. Loading into Abyssal Reef. A much larger map, and this map is more defendable on, I mean, we say this all the time, it's going to be much more easier to defend and fortify your 3, 4, and 5 bases. If the Protoss want to slow things down and get into a longer game, say this is the map to be on. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the blue Zerg. Oh my god. Okay, 15-15. We have the blue Zerg player, the South Korean Zerg, representing Talon Esports, going for a 15-15. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. Now, something that is viable on maps like Abyssal Reef and on Neon Violet Square is 15-15 openers. Dark can cut corners, and he can even attempt to open up gasless here. This is going for a more committed gasless build is seen more against Terran players. Dark should still embrace gas though against herO, as link speed of course does have more value early on. For now though, with the 15, he's able to get the hatchery on time, on location. Hatchery gets placed, there's that spawning pool follow-up, and we'll see when Dark takes his gases. Here we go. Are you even awake? Still cast? Oh, always, Pappy, always. If you're curious, our next cast is going to be in how many hours time? 9? In around 9 hours time, we're going to be live once again on the channel with some more StarCraft. Let's go. In 9 hours, we're going to be casting Wardy TV Monday. Wardy TV Monday. I will most likely sleep though. I'm probably going to nap in between. I'm going to try and get like at least 4 hours sleep before the Wardy TV Monday. Yeah, we cast every day, man, every day. And half the time, like 2 times a day. Like today we have KSL and Wardy. Tomorrow we have Alima League and Pigosor Monday. So 2 casts a day. Let's go. So now here he's going for a Standard Gate, expand into Cybercore. Yeah, cheese it up, yeah. If the stars are shining, light is casting. Top in nose, Pappy, top in nose. Dad, como estás? Bienvenidos, Top in. Always good to see you, Pappy. Always good. Always. Big shout to Top in. Top in, of course, is a big part of the Latin American StarCraft community. Big part of it. Much love, much love. Or at least used to be. Not too sure what Topin is up to nowadays, but good to see you nonetheless. Hope you're doing well. Much love. Where do you live? Australia? Yes, yes. Australia. Land of Oz. As interesting, herO going to be opening up with a Void Ray. Okay, it's going to be a Void Ray opener out of herO. Interesting. Now with a Void Ray opener, the goal here is to deny vision, hunt down overlords, and to keep the tech hidden. This sometimes leads into a standard game, but this could lead into something like a second Stargate and a Fleet Beacon and Sky Toss Tempest. This wouldn't be a bad map for it. It'd be actually a pretty good map for it, just because it's so easy to defend on your 3-base setup and 4-base setup. Otherwise, it could just be Void Ray into a standard build, and it could just be keeping Dark in the dark. As it does poke in. Dark focusing on link speed, pulling out of gas, droning up, saturating his bases, defending with purely queens and slow links for now. Void Ray does move out. And herO will expand. And again, because Gas did open initially with a 15-15, it means link speed is late. It means that this third base is more secure. Those links can't be as active. Oracle dips in. It's like 1 p.m. Yes, 1 p.m. So Oracle just rotates, keeping tabs here on Dark. And herO, he didn't really tech into any weird direction. He did open up Void Ray, that is true, but as we can see here, a standard follow-up. So didn't hide anything to just go for a standard build. Behind this, going for a Forge and Twilight counts with the +1 and most likely Blink into the mid game. So for the first time this series, herO, he has a comfortable start. Much more comfortable start. Now moving up with the depths. Still has the Oracles being active. Void Ray races back home to defend. So Oracles, they dip in between the bases. Adepts likewise moving in as well. How many Adepts? Oh, 7. So far, Darky fully walls off. He delays the Adept attack. Producing more Roaches, producing more Lings. Trying to keep up. Oracles, they come in to support. Dive on the army. Nicely done. The Spore isn't done. Ooh, without the Spore, drones are going down. They are denied. So far, 2 drone kills. Adepts, they shade into the natural. Yeah, Lings, they cannot engage. Again, with 7 Adepts, they can hold their own. And this is getting out of hand. It's going to be 6 drone kills. Going to 7, 8, 9. Oh my god. 11 workers go down, shading into the main. And it's forced a recall. Do force the recall, but very nice damage here from herO. 11 drone kills. That should not have happened. Should not have been that many. And now herO can comfortably get into the mid game. Ooh, Dark responding with a Spire. Okay, I was waiting for the tech of choice. I was waiting for that tech, and it is going to be Muta play here from Dark. This is very much so a gamble. If it goes unscouted, he can pop off, he can wreak havoc, he can pull herO apart. If he gets scouted, then herO can shut Dark down. That's as he can respond with Phoenixes, with additional gateways, Blink Stalkers, cannons, shield batteries. herO is being active, but so far hasn't seen much. Well, I should say, herO knows that he hasn't seen any tech yet, right? He didn't see a Hydrogen, didn't see an Infestation Pit. Meanwhile, herO reinforcing. Poking up the ramp. Denying creep. That's what the researching Evo Chamber. Lings are holding their own. Blood Transfuse. Lings are coming from behind. But that's what the Oracles are going to be for. And they activate their beams. They clean up most of the Lings. And herO is going to just keep reinforcing. And Dark didn't make any Roaches. He intentionally didn't make any Roaches, so Dark is in trouble. Lings are cleaned up. Mutas are on the way, but Mutas, they can't help with the defense. And the Roach Warden is going to go down. Massive pickup. herO catching out more Lings. Rotating over. He could have tried to push up the ramp, and does he scout? Oh. He does not. Oh, he does not see the Spire. Mutas now collapsing in. With Link support, Mutas, they can trade here. As Mutas are revealed. Shells to Stasis. Oh, Stasis goes up. And Mutas are in trouble. Mutas are going down. Void Ray comes into play. Lings are trying to support it. It looks like Dark, he will barely hold on, but he's losing most of his Mutas. Nice blinks here from herO. He blinks down to the low ground, avoids the Lings. Does that trade. Oh my god. And that's going to be 10 Mutas going down. A 1-to-1 trade, Muta for Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. That was not worth it. Expensive losses for Dark. Dark is still in trouble. Rock's getting knocked down. herO reinforces, getting a 4th base behind this, and he just keeps going. herO, he just keeps pushing, and he smells blood in the water. He knows that Dark is struggling to survive. I mean, that's the risk you take when you go Muta. Things, they come in for the surround. better trades here. The Lings, they're doing quite a bit to the Stalkers. You shot most of them down. Dark is down to 10 meters. Losing 13. We're getting some breathing room. And he just needs time. Dark, he needs time to mass up more Lings. And more mutas. Oh, +1 melee was denied, of course. I was waiting for the... I was like, what happened to the upgrade? But yeah, here he denied +1. And the Evo chamber was never rebuilt. Oof, that is brutal. These are 0-0 Lings. Even though they're meant to be good against Stalkers, I mean, they're nowhere near as good as they should be. And nice blink control here. Pylon's on the way to reinforce. And here, he's overwhelming. Takes on every single Ling. Dark is trying to transition out of mutas into Hydras. Trying to. Needs more time. More Stalkers on the way. Hatchery under fire. Mutas are going for a counterattack, trying to force a herO back home. Hoping to force a recall. Speaking of, there it is. herO does recall. Dark, he got what he wanted. Forcing back herO, but herO did kill the 4th. Like, the 4th still went down. Dark trying to double expand. Taking down the pylons. Getting his 4th and his 5th base. Mutas, they hit the natural, but hero's in position. Hero's still pushing in. Dark engaging with these Lings. At least trying to. The Zealots are coming to reinforce. Again, the role of the Zealots are just a buffer. Just to be that wall for the Stalkers. Starkey does try to hit the 3rd. Going for the 3rd base, but here he's still just committing in. He commits. The boys are being pulled. More Zealot reinforcements have arrived. Charge is done. GG gets called as herO overwhelms, and herO puts a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Dark, he did attempt to go into mutas. He didn't get scouted, but again, it was a big gamble here. Dark, he intentionally, even though he had a Roach Warren, didn't make Roaches. He saw the Stalkers moving out. He decided not to make any Roaches, which means he was vulnerable to the Stalker aggression. And it wasn't just that. It was really unfortunate here that he had his tech on the front lines. He lost his Roach Warren, and his +1 melee was denied to the initial Stalker push. So he had to defend with purely 0-0 Lings and 0-0 mutas. They're not ideal defensively. Mutas, they struggle defensively, and we saw Dark lose far too much there. Very strong control though from herO. We should also emphasize that, even though herO did punish Dark, and Dark was kind of playing trying to go uphill the entire game there, essentially trying to fight back, but also on top of that, because the immaculate blink control, herO, he just out-traded and made that look even more dominant in favor of herO. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have a series. Whew. We have a back and forth. I was concerned it was going to be a little bit more one-sided after that first 2-0 advantage, but now herO does bounce back. Again, Dark gambling a little bit in that last game. And now we're getting into Frostline as game number 4. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. Leading the series 2-1, still one game away from claiming this week's KSL. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. Here we go. To embrace Frostline. Now, Frostline is another unique map as well. It is large, that is true, but unlike Abyssal Reef, unlike Neon Violet Square, it is much more vulnerable. The bases themselves are very spread out, much more exposed as well, so trying to defend your 3rd and 4th base, especially in a longer game state, can be quite difficult indeed. So we'll see how aggressive our players decide to be. As Dark is going Hatch Gas Pool. Standard opener here from our Korean Zerg player. No 15-15 this time. This does mean that link speed is going to finish earlier than previously, which means Dark can be active and try to threaten the third base of herO. This does mean that herO has to be much more careful with the initial adepts. Just be a little bit more careful with them. Doesn't want to get caught out. Assuming that herO takes the third, but I mean, he should. Should it look to take that third base? So now we are going to be settling in. And it is going to be that Stargate opener. Once again, Stargate opener out of herO. Now, if you remember, last game, herO did open Void Ray, and he went into a standard follow-up. He went Void Ray into double Oracle, into a third, into +1 Blink, and yeah, into a standard game state on Abyssal Reef. I would not be opposed to herO opening up Void Ray again and actually having a different kind of follow-up instead to try to play games with Dark, play some mind games, I should say, try to lure him in. For now, based on the rally, though, it looks like an Oracle. Otherwise, it'd be rallied towards the Overlord. Never mind. Is rallied to the natural now. Okay, you have my attention. What's it gonna be? First step moves that across the map. Yep, Void Ray. There we go. Rallied back home, which means Void Ray, not Oracle. So I do like this. As I was just saying, the idea of herO going Void Ray 2 games in a row and having a different transition and different follow-up is a really good way to just play mind games in general. It's one of the strengths of a Void Ray opener in a series like this, is that Void Ray openers can be quite versatile, and because of that, it can lead into something more aggressive or something standard. It's a little bit more up in the air, and herO can play with that. As herO, he's hunting down that Overlord, and he does find it. Yeah, it does find the Overlord towards the south. He's aware of the Overlord towards the north. We'll hunt them both down. And that will supply block Dark. Dark forced to make extra Overlords. Trying to get into his third. Dark trying to get the hell out of here. Saving the Overlord. Get him out of here. We'll pull away. But it will be found. It's going to be both Overlords falling. Behind this, herO going for a standard follow-up once again. Going to be double Oracle into a third. Oh, never mind. That is a Twilight Council before third base. You have my attention. Now, based on this build... Oh, actually, Forge? Wait. Okay. Huh. Charge? Is this going to be a charge roll-in? I'm leaning towards charge, but I'm ready. he's cooking, Bob. He's cooking. Twilight Council before third base screams Glaive Adepts, but the Forge does mean that it shouldn't be Glaives. It should be something different, and I'm leaning towards charge more than anything. I mean, it could be Blink, but we'll keep an eye on herO. Reinforcing with Stalkers. There's a sign. Yeah, there it is. +1 Blink Stalker. But again, very fast +1 Blink. Which means, are we going for a Gateway Explosion? Are we going for an 8-gate 3-base all-in with +1? My eyes are on herO. I should say, my eyes are on herO's production tab. Lings, they dive in, they get a surround on one of the Stalkers. Well, they barely do not. There we go, one Stalker goes down. They're behind this. They get across the map. They're getting into the mineral lines. Drones are falling. Oh my god. Lings are out of position. They're across the map. And so many drones are going down. It's going to be 8, 9, 10 drones. This is too much. This is far too much at this point. Lings they're in production, but this is game-ending damage. 14. I wanted to see the build of herO, but herO's popping off with the Adepts. 17 drones for 3 Adepts. 18 workers go down. Dark, his economy is crippled. He's forced to redrone, forced to resaturate, and now he is vulnerable to an all-in. More gateways on the way. So far, just on a 4-gate setup, getting up to 6, building up towards 6 gateways. But after all that damage, the correct thing to do is to go for a 3-base all-in. 100%. There we go. Extra gateways on the way. There it is. It's going to be an 8k 3-base all-in. Again, we were already headed in this direction to begin with. +1 attack is going to finish up just in time for this. And this is going to hit like a truck. After losing 18 drones, Dark, he has to re-drone. He has no army. He has to remake those workers. And he's hurting as a result. Dark is taking into Hydras, into Hydra range, into... Oh my, he's being so greedy. He's crazy. Infestation, it's on the way for the Hive. Ay, ay, ay. And we're waiting for the move out. herO, he has eyes on the 4th. He's on how many gates? He's getting up there. Prism is on the way to reinforce. 4th base is going to be denied. Yeah, there's a cancel on the 4th base. Dark stuck on a 3-base economy. On a struggling 3-base economy. herO teching. Okay, I mean, herO doesn't need to tech. I'll be honest, he doesn't need to, but okay. He's teching up, going for a double Robo, double Colossus, or even double Disruptor Production. herO, he is not moving out. I assumed with the Warp Prism he would commit to like a massive push into a massive all-in, but no, he's chilling. I mean, he is ahead. That is true. He is ahead. Technically, he doesn't have to go for the kill. But he is giving Dark time, which means he's giving Dark the opportunity to get into the Hive. Remember, Dark, he took a big risk rushing into this infestation bit when he was struggling to even expand. He was struggling, but he does get away with it. So this is a big moment for Dark, which means he can rush into Lurkers. And can Dark stabilize from there? We'll see. We'll see if we can get there. There's that Lurker down that we spoke about. Again, Dark is being so greedy tech-wise. He's getting away with it. herO more concerned about expanding and defending. Is making 2 Colossus though. And does he move out with it? It looks like not. He's taking up even further into the Temple Archives, into Storm. That tells us that herO is going to be more defensive. He's backing off. Dark is stabilizing. Joining up to 71. Vipers are on the way. Hydra Lunge on the way. Dark, he is recovering. He isn't back in this yet. Like, he still has a ways to go. Dark, I mean. But he's on the road. He's on the road to recovery. I wouldn't be opposed to earlier Lurker production, just to be safe. But Dark, he isn't really one to be safe. Not really want to do so. Knocking down those rocks. Vipers morphing in. Same time as Delta, do hit the right hand side. They're going for the mineral line. Dark a bit out of position. Has to respond. Zelts into the natural. And here comes herO pushing in. herO still has the advantage. The Lurkers are barely not ready. 4 Lurkers on the way. Vipers are set up. Oh, here come the Storm drops. Vipers are going for the yoink. Ooh, they get the Prism. Prism goes down. Storms are denied. But it may not matter. From here, he may just snowball out of control. He has 4 Lurkers to contend against. Has 4 Lurkers ready. Any detection? Ooh, the answer is no. Observers just now starting. A 0 detection for herO. So Dark, he holds. But he does lose the base. Does lose the expansion. herO rotating over. Vipers coming in with some more abductions, going for the Colossus. Oh, he gets 1. He gets 1, he gets 2. And he wants 3. Ooh, oh my god, but the swipes are brutal. A lot of Hydras do go down. herO rotating. Dark keeping up. Sus up his Lurkers. Now there is an Observer with the army. Another yoink, another snipe. herO, he's down to 1 Colossus. Delta busts into the mineral line. Nice hold position micro. But herO, once again, he denies the 4th. And that really, this is all that herO has to do. He denied the southern 4th base, now the 5th. Knocks him down one after the other, and he's just starving Dark out. And herO can just outscale. You can just outscale him. As he's up in bases, he's up in workers, up in economy. herO can max out. Wait, herO didn't have Storm? I think this was a mistake. Like herO, he had High Templar in the Prism. Like he was acting like he had Storm drops available, and I think this is a mistake from herO. So, I mean, he didn't even need it. True, didn't even need it. Would have helped. That Storm is halfway done. Lurkers pushing in. Going for the 3rd. How many Lurkers do we have? 7. 7 Lurkers, 2 Vipers, Abductions coming in, going for the Colossus. We'll get one. Final Colossus goes down. Base under fire. Oh, the feedbacks though. Feedbacks from herO. Getting into Tempest production. Coming in from behind, getting very scrappy. herO pushing forward. And it looks like he will clean this up. Yeah, this time he has detection. Cleans up with the Lurkers, cleans up the entire army, and Dark, he has almost nothing left. Remember, Dark, he has no economy. He has no economy, he cannot sustain this. Bleeding out even the Vipers. No, get out of here. The final Viper goes down. And Dark, he plummets in supply. Again, it was just a brutal start, and hey, Dark, he almost recovered, but emphasis on almost. Like, even though he was able to tech up, Dark, he never really embraced a 4-base economy. He's just now transferring over. But he was never on 4 bases. Never for a long time, at least. Never enough for it to really pay for itself, and Dark, he's still struggling. Now down to 0 Lurkers, 0 Vipers, purely Roach Hydra. And herO, he's raised a move. Oh, God. I mean, he can Storm. True, he can Storm as well. Storm did complete. I do think that herO can keep pushing. Right now, he's still playing tentatively. herO is going to be rotating over towards the northern expansion. Again, herO just playing very safe. And I'll be honest, I'm not used to seeing this. Like, I mean, I'm used to seeing herO with a little bit more killer instinct here, but I guess especially because he's on match point, he's been playing it safer than usual. He just wants to be secure. He's maxed out. Hydra's coming in, but there are plenty of Storms. Dark, he does pull away, but it's still just a numbers game. And here he can just keep pushing. He can just keep pushing in. Dark trying to escape. Does go for a counterattack. Oh, the Hydras, they get caught out. And you can see Dark just doing everything he can to force herO to turn around, but herO, he does not budge. He keeps going. He commits, will knock down the 3rd, and he just keep pushing from here. And just keep pushing. Knocks down the expansion. There's the recall. You're setting up for the surround. Storm pops off, revelation on the Lurkers, and yeah, there's no escape. there's no getting out of this. Oh no. And GG gets called. herO, he ties up the series 2-2. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, herO, he had a massive lead, a massive advantage, killing 18 drones at the start of the game. It was insane how much damage those 3... It was only 3 Adepts. 3 Adepts killed Dark. Killed Dark at the start of the game. Dark did attempt to recover. Because herO was being more passive in the follow-up, Dark did get away with teching into a fast infestation bit, fast Hydras, into Lurker tech, into Hive tech as well. So the teching from Dark he got away with. It was very impressive. But something that Dark did not get away with is expanding. He tried to take a 4th, tried to take a 5th, but time and time again, herO, he played it safe. Just played it safe. After getting an advantage, he just settled into his own 4 bases and just denied the 4th. He just rotated, denied the 4th base over and over again, and just starved Dark out. And with that, we're going to the ace match. Okay, we're going to be getting into the ace match here. The final game of the series, we're going to be loading into Whispers of Gold. Let us go. A much smaller map. Going to be taking a break from these larger maps, taking a break from King's Cove and Abyssal Reef and Frostline. Now a much smaller map in the map pool. A much more aggressive map as well. Here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Talon Esports. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner. In the top left, we have the South Korean Protoss, the Red Protoss player representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. We go, and again, Dark, he had a massive lead early on. He had a 2-0 advantage in this series, and now herO has forced the ace match. We've gone the distance here, and regardless, it all ends here. It all ends on Whispers of Gold. Again, the big feature of this map is it is a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground, especially if you knock down the rocks. Whether it's the rocks on the left or rocks on the right hand side, they will reduce the surface, or sorry, reduce the time it takes to get across the map to commit to an all-in. Likewise, third bases are also more exposed than on other maps as well. Unlike on other maps, there is no high ground advantage, there's no ramp, there's no point of elevation. So things like Queen walks across the map or German taxis, they do hit even harder. But we'll see. We shall see. So now we do have our hatch gas pool, standard opener out of Dark. Likewise, herO, gate expand into Cybercore. Go. So we are going to be calming things down, and we'll see when and if Dark cuts workers. Really, my eyes are going to be on Dark to see the Roach Warren timing, the Lair timing, saturation. Those are going to be the tells for Dark. Meanwhile, from herO, he did open up Void Ray 2 games in a row so far. The previous 2 games it opened Void Ray. I do like the idea of, again, going for Void Ray for a 3rd time. Typically, like, that's, again, just to hide your build from your opponent, just to keep Dark guessing, and to mix it up. herO does move out across the map. He's going to be zoned away by the Lings. Likewise, Dark still just droning, saturating, expanding towards his opponent, taking the forward expansion. And the Stargate is rallied back home, which means, yep, Void Ray. It's going to be a Void Ray opener out of herO once again. Now, winding it back, if you recall, we did see hidden tech from herO in the last game on Frostline. So herO, he went for a Void Ray opener into really fast Forge and Twilight Council into +1 and Blink, led into an 8-gate setup. We saw that herO had the option to go for an all-in, but he chose to play it safe on Frostline after taking a lead. Here, I wouldn't be opposed to an 8-gate, to be honest. Like, an 8-gate, it sounds really good on this map, actually, but we'll see. As here comes that Void Ray that we did mention. And more importantly, we'll see which tech is hidden this time. Do we go for a second Stargate? Do we go for an early Twilight Council, early Robo, early Forge, or into double Oracle, 3rd base into a standard game? As the overload goes down. Meanwhile, shout out to Express Karma in the chat. Baby God, thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Welcome one and all to the finals of KSL of the Korean StarCraft League. Welcome to the final game as well, as we're here in the ace match. Now herO, he goes Oracle into double Oracle into 3rd base. Standard game. Standard setup here by herO. He's not teching in any crazy direction. Again, his crazy tech was last game on Frostline, so this time, standard opener. I mean, standard follow-up, I should emphasize. Oracles are moving out. Going to be scattering across the map. So far, the Queens are keeping up. It's going to be a fast Evo Chamber +1 melee on the way from Dark. This usually leads into Ling Hydra into a longer game. As Dark is embracing +1 melee, droning up. Ooh, I say that. He is knocking down those rocks a little bit earlier. Fast pivot. Bane Bust. He's going for a Bane Bust. Let's go. Darky's knocking down those rocks. Queens are moving forward. Creep is going to be spreading, and he's going to be Bane Busting herO. We'll see if herO can keep up. We'll see if he can hold on. See if he can hold on. Oh! Oracle, they hit the 3rd. Drone's going to be falling. 4 drone kills so far. Ooh. Oracle is picked off. Nicely done here by Dark. Shuts down the Oracle. Adepts a shade in towards the natural. Not enough Lings, not yet. Lings are still in production. Do hit the natural. And Lings are trying to hold their own, but drones are falling. Going to be 5 drone kills already. Oh no, not again. Not like on Frostline. Boys are being pulled. 8 drones do go down. Yeah, we've seen this before. Not like this, as this is becoming critical damage. 10 drone kills. hero's not done. Does cancel the shade. Recalls back home. Speaking of, shout out to Tater Tutor in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a good ladder session, I'm assuming. Gah, papi gah. And welcome to the finals of the KSL. Welcome to the ace match. And with that, hero's ahead. He does take a lead. He's ahead economically. Dark behind this is expanding, taking up into a lair. He is being active with his Lings, but again, he's redroning. Because there's so many workers, Dark, he's redroning, resaturating. Dark, his initial plans have been disrupted. And Hero's looking very comfortable. So Hero's just settling into his 3 bases, throwing down extra gateways behind this, getting into charge. Dark is trying to find some value with these Lings. But he is being denied. Dark taking a 5th, extra gases. We spoke earlier about plus on melee, how that usually leads into Hydras, and there it is. It's going to be Ling Hydra or Ling Bane Hydra. But Dark, he needs time to recover. As Dark is still down in workers. Still down in economy. Hero taking up. Temple Archives on the way. Robo as well. Oh god, the Lings don't trade well. They do clean up. They actually clean up all the Zealots. Let's go, but the army just pushes in. Back at home, no defensive Banelings. Banelings are still in production. And they're not going to finish. Well, they may finish towards the end though, but the Queens are under fire. Flush Transfuse. Banelings up, they connect. They shut down the Zealots. That's going to be 22 drones going down, and Hero snowballing out of control. He has broken Dark. Again, the early Adepts did cripple him to begin with, and Dark never recovered. He never recovered from the early Adept aggression. 25 drone kills. And the Zealots, they just keep rallying across the map. Hydra's trying to hold their own, but they're struggling against the Zealots. Efficient trades here by Hero. Trading minerals for gas. Sniping Hydras. And he can't just keep going. He can just keep going at this point. There's nothing to stop him. The Hydras, they do nothing, Patty. As Hero, he can just turn around and chase this. Instead, going for the 4th. Going for the 4th expansion. Luring the army out. Charges on the Hydras. Banelings do what Lin. Nice snipe there from Hero. Takes down the Baneling. Kills the 4th. And Dark, now, if Hero overextends, if he takes a bad fight, and then maybe if Dark counterattacks, he can try to do some counter damage. But really, at this point, Dark is hoping that Hero makes a mistake. He's hoping that Hero, he miscontrols his army. Rallies in. That is the hope for Dark. So he waddles in with the Banelings. Hero does take some Banelings to the face. Not the best handling of the Banelings there, but regardless, still has an evolving army. Pushing forward. He has 3 storms as well. Dark is trying to hold on. Here come the storms. Oh my god. Yeah, brutal storms. GG gets called, and Hero, he will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's Korean StarCraft League champion. GG. GG, well played. Dark had a very strong start to the series with that 2-0 advantage. Then Dark, he did take some chances, especially on Abyssal Reef. He weren't here for it. Dark, he rushed into Muta play, but he got punished. He got punished very hard, attempted to go Muta. herO was all over him, did bring him down. Likewise, Game 4 and Game 5 were quite similar to each other, actually. We saw in both games herO moving out with 7 Adepts, catching Dark with his pants down, and did cripple Dark. In game 4, herO, he killed 18 workers with 3 Adepts. Here in the Ace match, we saw a little bit of a bigger commitment. It was 7 Adepts this time, but also did kill, what was it, 11, 12 drones, did still cripple Dark, and with that, Dark, he kind of stumbled into the mid game. He had a really hard time recovering, and he wasn't able to. herO went for the kill, went for the win. GG. GG, well played. herO is going to be our champion. Again, herO, he typically is for KSL. Again, herO, historically, he has won the most Korean StarCraft leagues in the world, out of all players. This is his stomping ground. Dark does often challenge him, and, I mean, hey, we had a great series. Went all the way to the Ace match, went all the way to Game 5. In the end, herO did take it, but these two go back and forth. They go back and forth typically in series, so I'm sure the next time, Dark will be able to get the better of herO, and then Dark, then herO again. Usually is back and forth. Regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to herO, and I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Again, the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, is a bi-weekly tournament. Every 2 weeks we do have a KSL, and if you want to support the KSL, you can do so via Patreon. !KSL in the chat, and you'll get a link to the Patreon page. For those who do not know, the KSL is funded by the community, for the community, and if you want to support Korean StarCraft, then the Patreon is the place to do it. It is a way to boost the prize pool and to help support the players. Currently, support has waned over time, and that is why this is a bi-weekly, not a weekly. Usually, it used to be every single week. Every single week we would have a KSL, but again, a little bit less support on Patreon means less money, means now it's every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks instead. If we do get more support, then we can turn it into a weekly again. Does all depend on how well the Patreon does perform. It does depend on the people, but regardless, there's always going to be a KSL. Regardless, even if it turns into a monthly, at least we'll have it. We'll still have the Korean StarCraft League. Don't worry. Don't you worry. With that, thank you so much for watching. Now, what I will say, even though this is a bi-weekly, we will have another KSL this weekend. The reason for that is because KSL took a week off because of HSC, because of Home Story Cup. Because of Home Story Cup, there was no KSL last week, so there was like a break basically for KSL, and now we have to catch up. Now we have to catch up with KSL, so that means a back-to-back Korean StarCraft. Let's go. So the next KSL is going to be next weekend. Meanwhile, shout out to gracias, papi, gracias. Thank you so much to Cyan. Fala galera, papi. We just finished. We just wrapped up, but thank you so much. Obrigado for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime to Tater Tutor. Thank you so much. We just crowned our KSL champion. If you missed out on the tournament, if you want to tune into the VODs, check out YouTube, check out Twitch. VODs are available on both platforms instantly. They're on Twitch, they're on YouTube, you can check them out if you missed out, if you want to tune into some of these matches. Again, we had a great performance by both Dark and herO. We were able to feature Estrella earlier, Classic, Zan, GuMiho. It was a very fun event, a very fun tournament as always, And if you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, we are going to be live in how many hours time? I want to say 9 hours. Let me just double check. In 8 hours and 48 minutes, we are going to be live on this channel with the Wardy TV Monday. Now, last week there was no Wardy TV Monday. That is because of Home Story Cup. Wardy was traveling, Wardy was unavailable, but Wardy is available this week, and he does open up his tournament for community coverage. So we're going to be stepping in, and we're going to be helping Wardy cover his tournament, cover Wardy TV Monday. For those that are curious, that is an open cup that, because it's in 8 hours, it is at a better time for the European region, and at a decent time for the Korean region. Still awful for the Americas, so because of that, we rarely get NA representation in the Wardy TV Monday. It is again more focused on the European and the Korean region instead. But because of that, we get players like Clem, MaxPax, Showtime, and many others. And likewise, you get Korean players like Dark, herO, Byun, Shin, Trap, etc. So it's a nice blend here of Korean and European representation. They face off against each other, and it's usually a good time as well. So again, if you want some more StarCraft, 9 hours. We got you. We got you covered in 9 hours. Meanwhile, if you want another tournament at this time slot, in 24 hours time, we're going to be live with the Pigosaur Monday. Pigosaur Monday is a weekly tournament. It is more catered towards the Korean and American time slot. It is a really rough time for Europeans, so it's kind of like the opposite of the Wardy TV Monday, is the Pigosaur Monday. So better for Americans, worse for Europeans. And as a result, we get players like Estrella, players like Trigger. We get some more NA boys, some more Latin American boys as well, alongside the Korean players. So also, good time. Also is a good time to be had. So we'll see you guys in either 9 hours or 24 hours. One or the other will be here for both. Meanwhile, very quickly, when it comes to the rest of our schedule, if you want to tune into some purely, not purely, even more open StarCraft, really, tomorrow in, Jesus, 36 hours? No. Yeah? In around 36 hours time, we're going to be live with Alima League. Alima League is your weekly dose of Alima League action. It is also catered more towards Koreans and Europeans, so in 36 hours, we are the official English casters for Alima League. I do know, but the problem is, of course, is that we don't stream here on Twitch. We stream Alima League over on Chijijik, Chijijik in the chat. It is a Korean streaming platform. It is sponsored by the Korean platform. That is why we cannot stream it live on Twitch. I do know that usually after the fact, we hand over the replays, and I think Wardy does a replay cast. Pig and Loco, they do replay casts on YouTube. We cast it live, they cast it via replays. If you want to watch it live, you can do so via our Chijijik. Unfortunately, again, we cannot cast it, we cannot stream it on Twitch just because of the sponsor. So do apologize for that, but VODs are uploaded to YouTube in a couple of days. So like in 3 days time, all the VODs should be on YouTube, so you can enjoy it there if you wish. Otherwise, thank you so much. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. We're going to be heading off for the day. And we'll be back later on tonight instead. If you want to help support us, you can do so via following us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. You can follow us. We do post whenever we go live, so you'll be notified whenever we go live on a daily basis, because we stream every day, multiple times a day, all the StarCraft, all the StarCraft. Likewise, you can also support us via Patreon as well. Again, you can see our current goal underneath hero's name. We do currently make 298 USD on Patreon. That is all spent on tournaments. That all goes towards our events that we host: Sparkling Tuna Cup, Sea Duckling Open, and Master Swan Open. If we do get a boosted, or if we do reach the next stretch goal, we can boost the prize pool even further and pay out top 4. Currently, only top 2. Only top 2 get paid out in our tournaments. We would love to extend that to top 4 players, and then we can extend that even further and even further as well. So again, we do have our stretch goals laid out on Patreon. If you want to support us, you can do so there for our tournaments. Otherwise, thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego. Thanks for watching.